What's going on?
Ba 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 la 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 la.
Nash is in, says this show's taking off like the Oilers did last night. Pretty much, Maddie can't even put us on a 2-shot right now. My goodness, Mr. Lean's in the house, and yeah,
Okay, hold up. That's because I'm waiting for you to play your song.
Well, I try to work on the song. I don't know what's going on here.
So you don't have the song, so I have one arm.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sorry.
I can't click over that quickly.
Hey, now it's a one-arm excuse guy. Oh, God, unbelievable.
One arm.
Hey, with your one arm, can you turn up my headphones a little bit? I got these new Air Canada. Yeah, oh, yeah, that's nice. That's real nice. What's going on? I'm going to have to restart my computer, boys. Sorry, I'm going to have to... man, we have to get the computer going because we got to play the epic rant. First of all, McDavid on offsides. We'll get into that. And then the epic rant from the head coach of the Toronto Raptors last night. My goodness, buddy, that was absolutely amazing.
The officiating fraternity taking a hit last night. Hey,
Big
like
time
Surveyor
hit.
Brett's just gonna sleep this one off today. He's just gonna roll over in bed and yeah.
I would be surprised if Surveyor Brett even shows up today.
You can't show your face today, right?
Yeah,
you don't want to represent
I don't
that
think he can
garbage.
be here today. That's a tough look. Okay, I'm restarting the computer. We should get audio after this. However, it says it needs a 4-minute update too.
Hey,
Unbelievable!
that's your issue right there, right?
Right there in the
It's
middle of the
update.
show. I'm running blind right now. I got no nasty chat. I got no inbox. You got it over there, so you can see. I'm sure the beginning of the show.
It's
went
all
over
going
extremely
off.
well.
People are loving it.
Oh, my phone. I guess I could look at my phone. Yeah, that's a good point.
You can read the Darko rant if you want.
Yeah,
you can
well,
kind of
my God, this is shame. This is
Shame,
Now, he makes
shame.
a valid point. We can't come in here today and start on the Raptors-Lakers game. I mean, we got the
two
EM
Lakers
utility.
fans in the house.
Well, I know.
Come on.
I know. That was a. I'm still kind of torn. I don't think they're going to fire Darvin Ham. So at this point, you might as well win games. I guess my tone changes literally every 24 hours. I thought they played well, but the what was it? 23 free throws to 2 in the fourth quarter of that game last night.
Smells fishy.
That wasn't. That was good. What did you say? He said, "What did these cost? Because they have to win. Well, then tell us. We won't even bother coming." Like,
The whole thing was great.
Oh, it's
You could
legendary.
pick the bones of that, yeah.
We're gonna get to that. I feel dirty playing goal songs today, but
Why?
we have.
Why?
I don't
Why?
know. It was such a greasy effort.
A win is a
But
win.
a win is a win.
A win is a win, and good teams find
2
ways to
points.
win. Good teams find ways
It's
to
2
win.
points. We don't play them after losses, but we play them after dubs. So we'll get to that here as we work our way through the show as well.
They dropped this one, BK, if you know what I mean, right? This is AK, after no block.
Oh,
Before
yeah,
no
yeah,
block,
yeah.
this one's getting right.
Well,
Like,
maybe. I mean, I don't know.
You're on it. You just take it and you move on.
Nothing about last night's game made sense. Jack mentioned it
Yeah,
was a
that's okay.
weird game about a dozen times, and it kind of was. It was a strange one. Like even the 3 stars pissed me off last night. How does Stuart Skinner not get one of the 3 stars? Leon Draisaitl's the first star of the hockey game last night. Outside of his goal, I mean, he didn't really do much.
It was just the goal scores.
Yeah,
down the line.
yeah.
One,
It was
two,
very.
three.
It
I
was.
mean,
It was pretty. It was pretty lame. I mean, the 3 stars. Stuart Skinner should have been the first star last night. Somebody tweeted at me after the game. It was just like that seemed like somebody was told they were doing the 3 stars with like a minute left,
Yes.
and they're like, "Oh, McDavid, Draisaitl, McDavid." Like it clearly should have been Stuart Skinner last night. As somebody else tweeted at me last night and said it should have been Stuart Skinner, 19 different members of the Chicago Blackhawks, and then somebody else on the Oilers.
I'll throw the anthem singer in there as well. I always like the Chicago anthem. That guy nails it.
Part of me thought that the in-house announcer who would like announce penalties and goals and like stuff like that, I thought he sounded a little bit like Jaunty in Victoria on the 6 o'clock or chicken song that I was about to play.
Toss him in
until
as well.
my computer needed an update, which
How
is
are we
now
at here?
96% complete.
Okay.
96.
And that 4 minutes flies by. Hey,
Yeah, you're really well. It was at 33%. All of a sudden, it jumped to 96%. I'll never understand these updates.
Just like pro sports officiating here.
Pretty much the exact same thing. Pretty much the exact same thing. Both the National Hockey League last night and the NBA last night taking significant hits on the officiating front. No doubt about that. We'll get to that as we work our way through the show this morning. Oh, what's this we find here? Collector's Cups from Popeyes. We are in the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio. We got your Zach Hyman collector cup. They got the Heritage Classic on the front, Zach Hyman on the back.
Costing a few people a parlay last night, and you want to send him to the All-Star game.
Man, how do you, like, our Cool Bet hotline of the day yesterday, we rode with that puck line at -2.5. They got hosed. 2 goals that should have counted. I can't believe they didn't challenge the goaltender interference.
Must have had an eye. Who is
guess.
the video coach that we were going to build a statue of that I forget his name? That is.
Kupal. Yeah.
These are the minor details.
Darnell Nurse, Collector's Cup, only at Popeyes. We got a staff meeting today, and we're hitting Popeyes up for lunch, which is going to be good. Matthias Ekholm, Collector's Cup. Let me move my tea here.
We got them all here. Hey,
And
these don't.
available on Valentine's Day, the Nuge. So that's exciting as well. Get these at Popeyes as part of that Edmonton Oilers meal. You get the sandwich, you get the nugs, you get the Cajun fries, you get the drink, you get the dip, and you get one of these collector's cups for $16.99.
The platter, like the whole.
Yeah, I mean,
they have
everything
so
you
many
want.
good sides. The whole bit.
Yeah, whoever goes and gets lunch today, just go in and say, "We'll take 4 Oilers meals, please," and we'll get 4 Hyman's cups. 6, I guess. There's 6 of us now because Zacta can be in here. So yeah, well, it's gonna be a pricey lunch.
Oh,
You know
pricey
what?
lunch for an important
We'll
meeting.
just tell Zach he can't eat with us yet. You know who YouTube Trev back in the day would have been like, okay, you know, I get it. That's too funny. Anyway, these are available at Popeyes. Pick them up at any of your Popeyes locations. Oh, boys, we're back.
Mr. Hammond, the phones are.
The computer is working, and that means the board is working, which means I could conch somebody right now. Let's see here. Nope. It's playing here. This might be that connection thing again.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's a touchy little.
No, we heard it already.
You heard what? The computer?
The bloom.
Well, then why is it's not playing off here though? Mr. Lean. Mr. Lean being called.
Oh,
See,
yeah,
I don't get it.
yeah, yeah.
How are we hearing the computer, but the board's not playing properly? That doesn't make any sense. I just did that, Mr. Lean. Here, let's see. See, look, it's playing, but it's not coming through. But the computer's coming through. Have you ever seen such a thing? I've never seen anything like this. We'll get into your EM utility. As long as we have the computer going, we'll be able to get through this bad boy. So don't worry about it. But we're gonna have to.
We'll have to conch old fashioned. Get the old. Get the shell
I
out.
already restarted the board, Matty. This guy, unbelievable. What's that? I am, but now we're here. There's like a little bit of a hump, so maybe unplug this cable here. Here, just do this. There we go. There we go. Let's lay out the show for you today, and then we'll get rolling.
JBB and the Bing Bing boys. Well, the Cool Bet account is empty. Tell Dusty to stuff his poopy predictions in a sack.
Dude, you're telling me your account's empty. My account is also empty. Anytime this happens, I'm right there with you. I am right there with you on a lot of this stuff, and that sucked. That sucked big time last night. I even had a little 3-gamer with the Oilers, the Knicks, and the Mavs. And whoa.
Get that garbage out of here.
Where's YouTube Trev when you need him, eh? Unbelievable. Trev would have figured this out by now.
He's got 2 arms.
He's going to lose his mind. It's not working.
Well.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Look, as long as we can play this, we should probably be okay. Let's see. Oh, wait, hang on a sec. Nope. This board is screwed right now. We'll get through it. We'll figure it out.
It'll be an old style show. We can.
Actually, it was working until you touched it. What did you do? Unbelievable, this guy. Right, we had it.
Yeah.
Because we heard the updates.
Yeah.
And then now what has happened? Now nothing's coming through. What are you doing?
Go to file.
Go to file.
Listen to this guy. File.
Pause and take a.
Edit.
Preferences.
Yeah. But
Audio hardware. Just check. Click it.
it says not working.
Yeah, click it again. Oh, wait, click it.
Okay.
And click that top one.
This one.
Yeah. Now click it again and click yes. Click it.
Okay.
Click it again.
Click it again.
And
It's not even there.
registering that.
It's not even there. Well, it wouldn't come up because it's not plugged in. It's just coming out through the audio thing. So it should be on Realtek. So that means it might be working now. Hang on. Nope, still not working. We'll get it sorted out. Don't worry about it, Maddie. We'll do the sports updates. We'll get it fixed at some point. I'm not overly concerned. Still doesn't make any sense though. Maybe the update completely ruined things.
Well, that could have been it too.
Who do we blame for this? You! Oh, Maddie's taking the blame. I like that. I appreciate somebody stepping up. So I checked in on postgame a little bit last night. It seemed like it was one of those nights where people were fired up. This thing's going to drive me nuts today.
Just turn it all off.
People were fired up, but it's tough because even on like my 3 thoughts after the game, I was like, win's a win. So then you really shouldn't critique a win, but then I also said it was like a horse piss effort from the Edmonton Oilers last night.
Playing down a bit.
Yeah.
Do you give Chicago any credit? Playing mucky, jamming things up,
Sure,
as
yeah,
McDavid
sure,
said too.
I
I mean,
guess.
look, there's another team on the ice. They're doing their part. But I mean, are we that spoiled now that you can't just? Who cares? Take the win, move on. Like we don't need to. I know there's the offside and the goal. Skinner played well. I think that was part of your 3
Skinner
thoughts.
played well. Now it's interesting because I didn't think they should have played Skinner last night. I thought they could have played Pickard last night.
Right.
But if they would have played Pickard last night, I feel like maybe they would have lost that hockey.
Chicago could have had a
So,
few there early on, and
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was
take the
interesting.
2 and move on.
Nash says, Iwanek reminds me of the game last night. Just when you think it's going to be okay and he's going to make a clean play, instead he turns the puck over and then lays on his stomach, swinging his arms. That's Darnell Nurse there on the first goal, I guess, is what you're looking at there. I like you defending Maddie in the show. Maddie's doing all of this with one arm today.
He didn't do any in fairness.
Here's what I wonder.
Fiddling around with your equipment. He's trying to fix it here, and now he's getting thrown under the bus.
Here's what I wonder though, because before we started, Maddie kept saying, "I feel like I'm forgetting something. I feel like I'm forgetting something."
No,
do you think this is something to do with something you forgot?
No, because it's all connected. I need your computer. You need to be off your computer for like 5 minutes and let me hold it and look at it.
You wanna hold the computer?
Well, I need the computer while you do the show.
Yeah,
So I can click some settings.
It doesn't make a lot of sense here. I'll tell you that. The settings are all right. I don't. There's not many audio settings that I need to worry about. Like,
He is a whiz.
Well, I need to look at it.
I don't know. I don't know if you're gonna be able to do anything. I think is what I'm saying.
Well, I can't answer that until I see it and try it.
O'Neill says, punish Maddie by making him commissioner again. If we don't have sound by the time we get to the 6:30 update today,
into the role.
You're commissioner again.
Well, then I'm going to need to come over there again. I'm going to be by
Maddie,
you
it's
again.
impossible. It's impossible to do. Do you have McDavid's postgame?
Yes.
Okay, we'll get to that here at some point. I have this epic rant from the Raptors coach
That we can't play.
that we definitely want to get to,
Read
but
it.
technically I can't play it right now. Should I try to restart it again?
Sure.
But I think the board's
full
an issue.
restart again. Well, the board's the first issue.
This should play.
We need to get the board fixed first.
Hang on a sec here. No.
I like how you don't do anything. Then you're like, wait a minute, maybe if I.
Well, it definitely makes no sense that nothing's coming off the board. This is the issue.
That's the main
This
issue.
right here. This
That's
is the main issue.
start issue.
That's the main issue.
And I got to figure that out.
Here's the problem we have is that when I updated this, we were hearing it on the show, and then you came over and touched something.
Powered on and off, and it wasn't working anymore. That's why I've taken the blame.
So should we?
But you can play audio.
I'm gonna do another.
I can grab
Yeah,
it.
we can play the
Yeah,
McDavid
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
We'll get to that when we do our.
Yeah, but
morning
we got
after
to
show
start
for
with
Game
the
Chiller.
conches and stuff.
Well, Maddie, we can't do that right now.
Well, that's my point. That's why I'm saying we need to first fix this board, and then we can go to your computer as the issue because likely it's just if
This
we
is
restart
not a
it'll
cheap
be good.
board. This is an expensive
I know.
board. It can't be
So
causing
why is
issues
it not
like
working?
Keep the receipt.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
I'm hearing a buzz with that.
I'm hearing it now.
I'm gonna just fade that down.
It's like
Fade that
1260 days here.
Fade that down. Was that okay? So I was restarting the board. Let's try it one more time. We'll try.
Well,
Get this
wait.
back up.
Oh, did you start it back up?
Yeah. Why?
Oh, I was gonna unplug it and replug it back in, like the power.
Like the
part.
power?
Yeah, unplug it. Wait like 10 seconds and put it back in.
10 seconds. 1,
Power cycling stuff.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Strummy says, no NBA. Aw, shucks. What a shame. Oh, thank you, Doug. Thank you. We got to get into that. It was pretty epic last night. Craig Button's going to join us just after 7 o'clock this morning. Macramalla's going to be by. Macramalla sent me a picture of his family on New Year's Eve. He's in like the Dominican Republic or something.
Jamaica.
Just living
Jamaica?
his.
Yep.
Oh, is it Jamaica? Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, yeah. Did he send you the picture too?
No, I emailed him last week to see if he could join the show, and he's like, no, I'm in Jamaica. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Man, I thought he was just sending that picture to everybody. I thought it was special. I thought he just sent it to me when you're like, oh, he's in Jamaica. I thought he sent it to you too, and like everybody.
It's just proof of.
No, he still just sent it to you, though.
Yeah, that's nice of him. Yeah.
You don't have to worry.
Macramalla and I would be pretty tight, if we lived in the same place.
Who wouldn't you be tight?
I've
with if you
restarted.
lived in
I've
the same
restarted
place?
the board.
If Huss and you
Still
lived in
not-
the same
Oh,
place,
man,
you guys
it's-
would be super tight.
I can't even imagine what that would be like.
Loomis wants you to blow on it. Is that a?
Is that what we should do? Maddie, pod me back up. Let's see what happens here.
Maybe lick one of these.
This is a big moment right now for the show.
Thank you, Doug.
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 My God.
Now play something off the board.
No, the board's still screwed. Don't worry about that. We
Yeah,
can
we're not
get through
touching that
this.
now.
We can get through that. I'm not
Darko,
overly
give us
concerned with that.
Darko, yeah.
Well, we'll get to the course. Let me just secondary sound check.
There we go.
Oh,
Did you get the text I sent you?
we're back, baby. What?
I sent you a text last night to which you didn't reply.
What? When did you send me a text last night?
Look, and maybe now's the time for you to read it. Actually, it's best that you didn't read it last night. Read it right now, maybe.
I like that you don't respond to people's texts.
Man, I'm horrible at
Like
that.
we had
I'm
Reed
so
came by
bad.
yesterday.
It's
He's
like
like,
it's like
hey, I
NHL
text
fishing.
you,
I
and
don't
you're
even-
like,
I'm
oh,
not
I
even
haven't
mad.
responded to your text, Reed.
Wait. Oh yeah. Yeah.
No one, you don't respond to anyone's text. It seems.
Well, I got real caught there on the Reed one. I didn't know he was coming in, and he texted me 2 nights ago to come on his show, and I was just like, yeah, I'll get back to you on like for Wednesday or Friday. And then he comes in yesterday. I was like, he knows I'm alive, and I haven't replied to his text. And I don't know if I have that thing where you see it on when it's red. Like.
Oh yeah, you're
Can you
on
guys-
red.
can you
you
guys-
leave them on red or
Well, I'm
whatever.
not
it is.
on.
You're. I know
I don't
you're.
have
You're.
iMessage,
You're.
but I
different
also
phone.
always turn that off on anything I have. I don't want anyone to know when I'm on or off.
Yeah, I would rather not being able to have the. Can you? You must be able to change that, eh?
Yeah,
So
I
people
think
can
there's
see
some
it.
sort of
Yes,
setting.
There is a,
Yeah,
there's a setting.
Yeah.
But like when you do that, you
Because
then
it's
also
it's really bad. of
you
me.
can't see when someone else reads or doesn't read it.
Yeah.
Like it takes that off completely.
Well, I don't care about. I just
both
don't want
ways.
people to see that I've read their text and then. Sorry, Rick. I didn't. Yeah.
No, but then that was
No,
the
this
time.
is cool. Yeah, no,
Like,
this
I
ties
mean,
in.
if-
This kind of comes back around to what we were just
I
playing.
got a
there.
DM last night. It's
Yeah. No, hey, Dusty and Eric. Jonathan here, a frequent listener and texter. I chimed in this morning about being a band teacher and having the A&W Root Beer song as a go-to for a tuba demo. In order to keep this new show cutting edge, here's my offer. If you guys are game, I could bring the following items into studio. 1 tuba for myself, 1 triangle for Dusty, and 1 wood block for Eric. I think a live rendition might be a groundbreaking moment on the show. Is there any way you two want to do this? Let me know and we could try to find a date.
I mean,
Is there a clarinet in there too?
it really gets into it.
What's that? There's a...
I said, Maddie, one of the Washington and Michigan bands should have done this at the Natty. Could you imagine parading out there? And we could get maybe the bear. Maybe the bear could make an appearance, right? Like the
Yeah.
A&W Root Beer.
That would be... Actually, we could put in a request for that. We could probably get the bear to pop by.
I have the root bear and teddy bear form.
Hey, so do
Yeah,
I.
they used to give
my
those
daughter
out all
has
the
it. Why
time.
do you have one?
They dropped it off for us. I was a big, actually growing up, I was a big teddy bear guy. So I have them, but then I've given them to my nieces.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
they have
I
one.
think they dropped them off because I probably got one at the same time. Give
Yeah,
to
they
the
did it
Muzz.
back-to-back years or something.
Yeah, the Muzz,
when
the
you could
Muzz
smoke in
absolutely
the
loves
restaurant.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, back
that's-
in the day.
That's what you were. That's what you're talking about. All right, let's do this. Let's get into your morning after show. What's really blowing my mind here is that the board is playing audio from my computer, but it's not playing clips from the board, which makes 0 sense. No sense.
Crying here.
It doesn't make any sense. Hey, how about Vancouver again last night?
No.
Like Vancouver and the Jets just
Winnipeg,
won't lose.
yeah,
man.
I mean-
Vancouver and back-to-backs roll in and put up
Seattle,
5 on the
Seattle,
Islanders. Kraken have been
Seattle.
rolling. Yeah, that was a wild night in the National Hockey League, actually. I mean, I like Nashville in regulation last night. They were down 4-0 in the second. Talk about your all-time backfires on that one. But let's dive into your morning after show for your EM utility locating. We'll get to your steady Eddie of the evening. We're talking GPR and concrete scanning, damage prevention, planning, design, education, and training. If you are working below the ground, visit emutilitylocating.com. Matt and his crew over there will make sure the job is done safely. They will train you. They will help you execute it, and they will make sure everything gets done up to the standards that you have set. The EST big moment that happened last night. What are you going with?
I'll go with the McDavid goal because in a 2-1 game, that's ultimately the difference. I know we're going to be talking about the offside that maybe shouldn't have been.
We'll get into that.
Or the Hyman interference or whatever the case is. Those are clearly the talking points. And if you were to come out of last night on the losing end of it, they would be amplified. But you win, and McDavid had the winner, his 15th of the season. I'm leaving it at that. I'm not going to get into the muck this morning. And I know...
I'm going to muck it up.
No, you muck it up, and that's fine. And it was mucked up on the post game. And again, if you lose that game, I mean... I get it, and there are nights when, I mean, it's Game 7 Stanley Cup Final, those, whatever. They won the game. I think at this point, 8th straight win, 2-1, 15 shots. Let's go to Detroit.
Here's the end question from this game last night. How many points did they get out of it? 2. I think I saw in about a million different places. They can't all be Picassos. I think we got to come up with a new saying. Right, let's come up with a better saying than they can't all be Picassos.
But you want to be the team saying that.
Yeah.
Like that
they can't all be blank.
Good teams find those.
What they did last night was not so much they found a way to win, but they found a way not to lose.
Bingo. Okay.
Right? Is that a decent way to kind of look at this thing?
Yes.
I feel like that's a decent way. Also fill it in. For this show's purposes, we need a better saying than they can't all be Picassos. They can't all be what? Fill that in, 780-218-9999, or in the nasty chat this morning. I mean, as far as big moments that happened, you mentioned the McDavid goal. I thought there was a couple big saves from Skinner in the third. The one post that they hit in the who hit that post in the third?
They had a few good looks throughout the game. The Blackhawks that could have been.
Did Pitlick go off the post in the third? I think it might have been Pitlick. That was a tough. But yeah, they had some good. I mean, the wraparound that Skinner kind of laid down, they kept that one out.
Look, that Dickinson goal was pretty nice. I
think it was nice.
Got 2 points. The dust is settled.
He's been really good lately. Whatever is a good goal. Yeah. So let's go with that one. Super stat of the night. What are you going with?
You won the game with 15 shots on net. I did see a stat online that they've done this, a handful of times. You can count on one hand in the past before or something like that.
And with this, in the history of the franchise, I think this was yesterday's Hangout guest, Reed Wilkins, who texted Matty after. Reed is funny.
It was him.
Reed is funny. What did he text you after, Matty? It was something like Reed was killing it on the Hangout. If you missed the Hangout yesterday, go watch it. Belzy's great. Reed was awesome. Tommy was late. Matty was there.
Yesterday afternoon, Reed texted me saying, "Thank you for opportunity to work on my broadcast skills."
Here's the tweet.
Yeah.
39th time the Oilers have had 15 or fewer shots on goal in a game.
That's it.
They've now won 10 of those.
So they're 10 and 29. So just 39. So over 40 years, 39 times, one per season, they'll have their 15-shot effort. Like, that's how bad it was last night from an oomph perspective.
But you got to lean on Connor.
But this one might have been one of the worst from those shots, because I'd love to go see the other teams that they played against in those games where they only got to 15. You know what I mean? Like, they played half an American Hockey League team last night, only got 15 shots on goal, but came away with the 2 points. 9-6-2. 9-6-2. 9-6-2. 9-6-2. 9. Stuart Skinner, save percentage, super stat of the night. They also owned the faceoff circle last night, 64.2% of the draws for the Edmonton Oilers. And when you get that puck possession, it should probably lead to shots on goal. It just did not last night. And, it's not like the Hawks blocked a bunch of shots either. They only blocked 15 shots. So the Oilers didn't really have anything going last night, but managed to come away with the win. They have now won 8 in a row. The 3 stars of the hockey game last night: McDavid, Draisaitl, and Dickinson On Sportsnet, they went Draisaitl, McDavid, Dickinson. So both in-house and Sportsnet can completely ignore the fact that Stuart Skinner was the best player on the ice last night.
Yeah, that's the fourth.
How in the
we
hell?
went over that.
I just don't get it. How do you watch that game last night and go, oh, Draisaitl was a better player than Stuart Skinner last night? We should not get fired up about these stupid 3 stars every single game.
Well.
But it's so obvious. I don't get it. I don't understand this. Makes zero sense.
And just going to the 3 goals, I mean, that's kind of your cop-out. As you say, it's the guy that passed out during the game. Hey, you got to do the wake up. Oh, yeah, who scored? And away we go. Stuart Skinner. That's the answer there. They can't all be 6 o'clock or loggers. They can't all be roof daddy goal calls, masterpieces.
They can't all be roof daddies.
Beauty listers from Johnny 9.
They can't all be beauty listers. That's a good one. Keep those coming in. 780-218-9999. Or you can also go with the Oilers win last night was like blank and fill that in. I've already seen a few of those. It's like
First half hour of the show.
When you take some, but yeah, like the first 15 minutes of the show.
We're getting through it.
We're rolling through now.
We're going to get the 2 points.
We're going to be able to get this thing done.
Yeah.
I'm not overly concerned about it now moving forward. But yeah, I saw one that was it's like when you try you don't really try hard, but you get somebody from the bar, but they're not that good looking, man or woman. It's just that's kind of what last night's game was, right?
Off to Detroit.
Nobody's really going to complain about it.
Yeah.
In the end, you got to be in Chicago, which is an absolutely amazing city. 38th star of the game last night. Well, Rick, I like to go and kind of look for zeros across the board here.
Sure.
Derek Ryan, zeros across the board.
Okay.
Matthias Janmark, zeros across the board. Zach Hyman has zeros across the board, -1, but should have had a goal, missed an empty netter. I can't go with the man. Zach
You
Hyman.
want to go to the All-Star game?
Adam Ernie had 4 hits last night, played 6 minutes.
Feel the urn.
Connor Brown with a couple of shots last night.
Evander Kane, 2 penalty minutes
Yeah.
and a hit.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to quickly go now. Yeah, I mean, Chicago was the better team last night. I don't really put it. Well, I'll just.
They're not going to outskill them. They're not going to outskill them, so they were outworking them.
I'm not feeling overly strong about this one, but I do think it brings up a conversation of Evander Kane. I mean, all he really did was take a penalty last night. Played 13 minutes. We'll get into. I know there's some questions about Evander Kane. We'll get to that during 3 questions too many, because it's interesting. He's not going. He's got like 4 points since December 1st.
Well, you got to elevate him.
Well, what do you do with him? And does it matter because you won 8 straight games? So in the end, technically, who cares if Evander Kane's going? So
in the strive for perfection, though, there's always things to work on. But safe to say, though, Detroit hasn't played. I think it was a California road trip in which they swept the teams. They haven't played since Sunday. You can't bring that into the Little Caesars pizza box tomorrow, can you? Like that. They ain't the Rockford Ice Hogs here.
No. You're gonna definitely. Now
They too are in a wild card chase.
In a winning streak like this, you're gonna have these games. They got away with it.
Yeah.
So now do we see them play 2 or 3 really good games again and hit 10 or 11 wins in a row? The EM Utility locating Steady Eddie of the evening. Well, I saw a picture last night online with Matthias Ekholm with a plunger stuck right over his boob. So I'm going to go with Matthias Ekholm for your Steady Eddie of the evening. Great stretch pass to Connor McDavid on the McDavid goal. 21-23 last night, +1, the assist.
Yeah, you see that thing is right on there.
It's right on there.
Where's the video of him ripping that off? That's got to be
It's got to hurt a little bit.
Yeah, that areola.
Man. And if he had nipple hair there, she gone. That's safe to say. All right, let's get to Connor McDavid's post-game comments last night. Here's your captain.
After coming out with 2 points after a game like that.
Yeah, obviously not our best, but give them credit. They worked. They clogged things up. They played a solid game. Stu held us in, and I thought we did just enough to get a win.
Is tonight a showcase of the team's growth and their versatility? Because you guys won a tight checking game that you guys probably wanted to open the door on a little bit, but you guys were staying patient and let the plays come to you.
Yeah, I thought we had a couple calls not go our way, and I thought we did a good job of just staying in it. I know I've said that a lot lately, but, we kind of just found a way tonight. They're obviously banged up. young lineup, excited lineup. Those are sometimes the toughest games to play. They're a little bit scrambly, a little bit all over the place, and I thought they played really well.
For a team that you guys had that Makar goal go against you a couple of years ago, do you have an opinion on the Draisaitl one? It's all similar. What did you think of that?
I do. I mean, obviously, if it takes you 15 minutes to determine if it's offside or not, it probably doesn't really matter. I talked to the linesman after. Ultimately, it's not their call, I guess. Obviously they said it came down from the league, but you zoom in, you keep zooming in until you can't zoom in anymore, and I guess it's offside. So, you know what? These are calls that change games, and ultimately it didn't go our way. That was a big call. It would have really hurt them, and I thought it should have been onside. I mean, it's kind of possession too, right? Like the argument of possession. That whole debate can start again. It was such a close one. You'd like to see it. I think the NHL uses the analogy dead wrong, right? If it's dead wrong or something like that, I don't know what they say. Like they want it to be clear and obvious, right? That one's certainly not clear and obvious.
Fair.
Did you go ahead? Bedard probably feels like it's the end of the world, as a rookie, and you sort of went through it as a rookie too. Is there anything you learned or any advice you can pass on to what he's kind of going through?
Yeah, it sucks. It really sucks. I've been in his shoes before. There's no other way to say other than it's a bad feeling, but things pass. He'll get healthy. He'll play at the top of his level again this year. So to just stick with it and be positive and be a good teammate and enjoy the recovery process, because it can be fun and it can be exciting to get healthy again.
Is this a game that, I don't know if you guys always won this game. Only 15 shots on net, a couple of goals come back, a frustrating, pesky opponent that kept badgering you.
Yeah,
I don't know if you won this game all the time 2-3 years ago. What's changed?
Yeah, I think that narrative around our group, obviously, it seems to be that we can't play these tight checking games, but we're a team that has won 100 games over the last 2 years, and have won 16 of our last 19 games. We know how to win hockey games all sorts of different ways. So we hung in there. We played against a scrappy team, a young team that's got some real good players on it, and found a way to win. That's ultimately what it is.
Is there a commonality between these 2 8-game winning streaks?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just get into a rhythm, right? And you find ways to win games. Tonight's not our best, and we found a way. Yeah, it's just kind of a rhythm that it's a feeling in the room, and it feels good to put them together. We needed to, obviously, after our start.
There you go. That is Connor McDavid. If you missed it, he's the captain of your Edmonton Oilers. And the morning after show is for EM Utility Locating. Hey, how about a conch for Mr. Lean?
Yeah.
Even with one arm, Matthew Iwanek has solved the problem.
Amazing.
I did accuse him of causing the problem in the first place, but that was wrong of me.
It's very big of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, we're going to hear, we're going to dive into this. Connor McDavid on the offside last night. NHL needs to do something about these things. I mean, we'll get into that coming up here a little bit next. I saw one suggestion online last night that I think they'll never do, but I think it might help the situation. So we will get into that. Let's get to a sports update right now. When we come back, we'll get into that offside conversation, dive into McDavid's remarks a little bit. If you have a solution to offside review, do you just get rid of it? Enough of this now. Nobody seems to know what's offside. If you
take out all the
lines. If you could actually understand the rules, then maybe it would work. But it's different all the time. And we will get into that coming up. If you have a solution, hit us up, 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat. And we got to dive into the head coach of the Toronto Raptors losing his marbles post-game last night. That's on the way as well. But first, a sports update. Come on. Are you serious right now? You said you fixed this. What did you do? I didn't do anything, man.
I'll take it. I'll take it here. Oilers defeat Chicago 2-1 for their 8th straight win. Edmonton managing just 15 shots on net. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl supplying the offense. Stuart Skinner 25 saves in the win. The 3-game East swing continues tomorrow in Detroit. Edmonton now 2 points back of the top wild card spot with 4 games in hand. On the Nashville Predators. Predators dropping one to Anaheim last night 5-3. The Kraken over the Sabres 5-2. Seattle have won 7 straight. Kings fall in overtime to Tampa 3-2. LA 3-4-3 in its last 10. Jets blank Columbus 5-0 for their 7th straight win. Canucks top the Islanders 5-2. And Arizona also keeping pace in the wild card race with a 4-3 overtime win against the Bruins. AJHL action last night. Blackfalds over Bonnieville 4-1. Drumheller Edge Camrose 3-2. Canmore shutting out Calgary 6-0. Big one tonight out at Grand Fuhr Arena. The 10th place Spruce Grove Saints hosting the 2nd place Sherwood Park Crusaders. Puck drop 7 o'clock. Pair of games in the PWHL tonight. New York hosts Montreal while Toronto visit Minnesota. And in the association, Anthony Davis, 20 of his 41 points in the fourth, so the Lakers topping the Raptors 132-131. Lakers out free throwing the Raps 36-13 in the game, which led to Raps head coach Darko Rajakovic going off post-game. Raptors will remain in LA to face the Clippers tonight in one of 10 games around the association. Lakers will prep to host the Suns tomorrow. This sports update brought to you by Green Plan, providing you with award-winning environmental planning and consulting services. Whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential, plan it right with Green Plan. Visit green-plan.com or give them a call, 780-455-4292.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Well, how's that for a twist, eh? We thought we fixed the problem, and then it didn't get fixed. And then it kind of got fixed, and you came over and pushed all the other buttons the other way.
Are you taking back your half apology that you issued?
I am taking it back.
Wow.
Because you pushed off all these buttons like these have to be off. Then you just came over and turned them all back on.
Well, they do have to be off.
But they're on.
I know, but well, no. If you like, it works the other way. If you have them all on, it all works.
Yeah.
That button just means that only whatever plays off that flater will play. So like it works that way. But when they're all off, it should still work. We weren't getting any levels off that board. What you were playing should not have gone on air.
I know. It's not even coming through
The
the board.
board did not come on at all.
This
So
is a miracle.
that part is the miracle.
This is a
So
miracle.
that's the other concern is why weren't there any levels?
Sounds real nice.
2 points.
Sounds real nice. All right, so Connor McDavid, one of the things he talked about last night is basically said, and I don't know if it was, how long was the actual review last night? He said 15 minutes. I don't think it was 15 minutes, but it felt like half an hour, for goodness sakes.
Soccer fans think VAR is bad, eh, Maddie? But it can't take that long. And when it does take that long, obviously you're looking for something that's...
So somebody last night tweeted at me and said on these offside reviews, should they literally put a clock on the officials and be like, you got 5 minutes?
Yeah.
And I would say you got 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And if you can't tell...
Give me 2.
In 3 minutes, if it's offside or not, then the call on the ice stands. Simple as that. Or just remove it altogether. Because last night, it was a tough play to break down because Louis was saying, watch his skate, it's still hovering above. I don't think it was. I actually think both his skates were offside. But it looked like he had the puck on his stick just before it came across the blue line, which to me would make you believe that was possession of the puck as it came into the zone. Now, I saw Surveyor Brett tweet something out. If both of your skates are over the blue line before you get possession of the puck, that could be deemed an offside. But why does it take as long as it does? It doesn't need to.
Well, I love how you said
3 minutes. Here you go. You've got 3 minutes. Max. Go.
But you said it could be deemed offside. So it depends on which way the wind's blowing any given night. And I know all the Avalanche memes were circulating last night as well. So when you see stuff like that's happened in the past, what's the standard and what is the rule? Does it depend which arena you're in and which officials on the ice and again, McDavid said that this came from on high. This was from a Toronto. It was coming down. It wasn't like the linesman there in the building that night.
Well, you're telling me that they had enough to overturn that?
Oh no, I don't. I get it.
That's
to overturn.
That's
you
thing.
need
You're telling me you had a good enough look at it to determine whatever the hell the rule is for offside when it's as close as it apparently looked to all of us. You had enough there to overturn that? Come on. And then I don't know what was going on in the first goal that was disallowed. I thought for sure there'd be a challenge. And if you're Knoblauch, challenge it. Worst case scenario, you're putting what's been a really good penalty kill right now going up against the Hawks power play with literally zero offensive creativity on it.
But that too would be somebody telling Knoblauch that, hey,
I know,
but it's not his eyes from the.
By the time that puck went in, I didn't see Hyman doing anything wrong.
But again, you may think that. You challenge it, and what's up is down, and down is up. So
flip that, reverse it. I just watched Willy Wonka. I just watched Charlie and Chocolate Factory. I watched the new one.
Was that in the theater?
Yeah. Actually, it was. I liked it.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, it's like it's a prequel.
It's like the
prequel.
origin of it almost. It's great. I really enjoyed it.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
I
like Chalamet's good.
I did not like the Johnny Depp version.
I didn't watch the Johnny Depp
It was terrible.
version. I didn't watch it.
But like the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was great. This is a nice little prequel for that. And I think they tie a lot of nice things together and have the recalls to that first movie.
It was really well done for a prequel.
Yeah.
Like our kids hadn't seen the original, but we took them to this one, and then the next night we watched the original as well.
Oh, that's a good way of doing it.
Yeah, it was good. And I love the original. It was one of my favorite movies as a kid. But I thought the new one entertained me just as much. So yeah, it was.
The only thing about the new one is it doesn't have the darkness that's in the other movies. Like in that first movie, there's a little bit of a darkness.
There's a little bit of a dark thing.
Like when they go on the tunnel and stuff,
yeah.
there's that darkness.
Yeah.
That's not there in the new one. It's a lot more overall wholesome.
Yeah, I think they try to make it there a little bit with them being.
Don't go into it.
No spoilers.
No
spoilers. But it's worth checking out if you like the first one. It's
a nice reference there.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah, flip that. Reverse it. All right. So speaking of officiating, we have to get to this Lakers-Raptors game last night. I like when the Lakers play the Raptors because the rest of the country watches Lakers games. Like usually it's just me and Maddie and some hardo NBA fans who are watching every Lakers game, and most of them are on TV for us here. So I watch a lot of them. Yesterday in the lock shop, I did say Raptors +5 just because the Lakers have been so. I mean, last night's game was your typical Lakers game over the last little while, except Anthony Davis took over and got to the free throw line a lot. Last night. Especially, and I was texting with my buddy Eddie the Gambler, and he's a huge Raptors fan.
You have a play on this
and
one?
he was losing his mind last night on officiating down the stretch, and I would have to agree. Like, and this goes the other way against my boy LBJ once in a while.
Okay,
but 23 free throws to 2 in the fourth quarter. The offensive foul that they called that brought back a 3, AD certainly embellished. I mean, RJ Barrett kind of got in his way a little bit.
Dark arts.
But still, I thought Scotty Barnes had a take to the hoop where he initiated and got the contact on the drive. AD ended up blocking him, but that probably should have been a foul going the other way as well. And Darko Rajokovic after the game, my goodness, this is up there. As far as rants from coaches of Canadian teams, this is right up there with being an all-timer.
Best one EST has had. He's top of the charts right now. Top of the charts.
Since the beginning of September, this would be the best coach's rant that we have heard. Listen to this guy last night. Maybe. Let's see.
Fourth quarter, what did you...
Thank you, Doug. That's outrageous. What happened tonight, this is completely BS. This is shame. Shame for the referees, shame for the league to allow this. 23 free throws for them, and we get 2 free throws in the fourth quarter. Like, how to play the game. I understand respect for all stars and all that, but we have star players on our team as well. How's possible that Scotty Barnes, who is all-star caliber player in this league, he goes every single time to the rim with force and trying to get to the rim without flopping and not trying to get foul calls. He gets 2 free throws for the whole game. How's that possible? How are you going to explain that to me? They had to win tonight? If that's the case, just let us know so we don't show up for the game. Just give them a win. But that was not fair tonight. And this is not happening first time for us. Scotty Barnes is going to be all-star. He's going to be the face of this league. And what's happening over here during whole season, I've been calling it back. It's a complete crap.
Do you feel like you're getting any explanations at all? That offensive foul, did you see get any explanation?
No, there is no explanation. They just come up there, they review and they see what they want to see. They don't want to hear us what we got to say. They don't want to hear the players. They don't just want to protect us. Over the game, they got 36 free throws, 23 free throws in the fourth quarter. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? How are we supposed to play?
Oh, there's a couple of clips from here that we can certainly use moving forward.
It's a complete crap.
It's a complete crap. Darko.
You're bored this morning.
Yeah. Audio setup in the 6 o'clock hour.
It's a complete crap.
A complete crap.
I'm going to save this one just a sec. I'm going to throw this into... and there's one earlier, too.
I just like that they had to win tonight. I mean, he's basically calling out the scripted results of pro sports. I mean,
there's a fine coming down the pipeline.
You do not want to get
here
into that avenue.
My goodness.
Just give him the win.
It's a complete crap. That's too good.
It's a complete crap.
And then I like this one earlier. Let's see. It's right near the beginning, and I'll just run it from the start here.
Fourth quarter, what did you...
Thank you, Doug. Yeah. That's outrageous. What happened tonight, this is completely BS. This is shame.
That's it right there. This is completely BS. This is shame.
This is completely BS. This is completely BS. This is shame.
Boom.
Next time Doug McLean's in the hangout, Maddie, you got to have the thank you, Doug. That has to be
He's
a
actually
sign
on
every
Friday.
single
Is he
time.
on Friday?
Every single time. Thank you, Doug.
Every single time Doug McLean says anything on Friday's hangout.
Thank you, Doug.
So this might be how you get in the mix for text of the day. Mind you, it is a Macramalla day. So send your Macramalla intros in. He should be joining us today around 7:45. So text of the day is heating up right now for A&W.
Lots of paths.
Oh, so many
Lots of
different ways
paths.
to win text of the day today. And if you send in something hilarious in the nasty chat, make sure you text it to us as well. 780-218-9999. Text of the day for A&W. Spicy dill pickle mama burger. It's back, baby. And now it's available as a buddy burger as well. Starting at just $3.99, 3 grass-fed beef burgers topped with pickles and onion slice, real cheddar cheese, slathered in creamy, spicy dill pickle sauce. Available for limited time only at A&W. That's straight into the Paris Jewelers inbox. If you love somebody, hit up our friends at PJ's for Valentine's Day. ParisJewelers.com. Pop into one of their several locations. They've got 22 across this country, family-owned. Pop in there, and you're looking for a ring, you're looking for a bracelet, you're looking for some of that Star Wars stuff, some Marvel stuff. Everybody always talks about jewelry for the ladies. What about jewelry for the men?
Bling for the boys.
Yeah, bling for the boys. That's a good line. I like that. Yeah.
You'll get your ears pierced maybe just to get some nice.
Hey, if somebody ever buys me
studs,
earrings, I'll get my ears pierced.
Yeah,
I've never had a reason to get them pierced because I don't have earrings.
I want you with the Tyreek Hill, the dangly, like the. You could pull it off.
Do you think I could
with
pull
that shirt
off?
and the whole vibe here?
Does this vibe today? Flannel shirt, plain black cool bed hat. Does this reek of put an earring on me? What about a stud in your nose?
You don't have a cool bet hat on.
Oh yeah. I literally couldn't see the screen. I was even thinking I'm wearing an Edmonton Sports Talk hat from our friends who bring the buzz, the Hive promotional products. Yeah. I should have looked at my hat there before I said that. Usually I wear that cool bed hat, but
50-50 you'd be.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. This one says that offside call last night.
It's a complete crap.
It's a complete crap. I like where the Raptors are headed, though, after this trade, though, man. Quickly looks excellent. Fouled out last night.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably not going to sit well with Darko.
It's a complete crap.
No Poitel in the lineup. I mean,
No, he was. They could have used him last night.
but
Anthony Davis had his way around the rim last night. But
you put him back in there, and you know.
Now, OG Anunoby's been great for the Knicks as well. Is this one of those rare situations where the trade works out extremely well for both sides?
It's like the Cutter Gauthier, Jamie Drysdale thing all over
That's
again
what it looks
here,
like. RJ Barrett was playing with some swag in his game last night. Him and D'Angelo Russell getting into each other's faces a couple of times in that game last night. My Google review for Macramalla's law firm and orgy superstore.
It's a complete crap.
Keep those rolling in. And Nasty Chat, of course, at 780-218-9999. My mother-in-law has moved all of her stuff in and needs to borrow my car every single day.
It's a complete crap.
That's in from Gardner Minshew the first. Oh, the real Slim Davy. Come on, dude.
This is great. This is great.
When I get 10 minutes uninterrupted in the bathroom.
It's a complete crap.
The full deal.
Oh, God. Come on, man. That's
I like that angle.
I mean, you guys are all creative. This is why this show is awesome, because of all of you who are listening and contributing to the show. Like we said, Macramalla coming up today, but there are several ways to get your hands on
retired bowler Ryan. Tommy comes in late again with a coffee.
It's a complete crap. This is completely BS. This is shame.
Right? That's more.
Shame.
That's
Shame,
more
yes,
for Tommy Gazzola showing up late, but also having a coffee in his hand.
This is completely BS. This is shame.
I want Daddy doing this whole song and dance with it.
Now, with that said, when Tommy came in yesterday, and he was, 5, 6, 7 minutes late for the hangout, that was a homemade coffee, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, he didn't pick
Confirmed.
up.
Okay,
he didn't pick up.
yeah.
Unless he poured it into a cup.
The old switcheroo.
I know.
But no, I think he made that. He had to put an air in his 4 tires.
When Eric Macramalla goes to an orgy and the towels are not heated.
It's a complete crap. This is completely BS. This is shame.
I mean, that one probably works better for that. So a huge shout out to Darko. I love a guy who's obviously going to get a fine and is just like, screw it. The one thing, this to me came across as like last night was the final straw for the head coach of the Toronto Raptors, because he said this has been happening all season to Scotty Barnes. So
that was post game in LA, so that's Eastern time. Like you're just, as I said off the air to you earlier this morning, yelling into a well a bit. But look, we'll keep this audio. We'll have some fun with it, and good for him. I focus in on that they had to win tonight. Like if that's the case, like I mean now you're talking about
well that's
the NBA
what's
and fixing
going to get him
games and everything.
fined.
I mean, I mean you can say crap and shame and all that, but
that's the part. I mean, he could probably be fined for about 3 or 4 different comments in here.
Yeah.
Which you're smart. If you're going to get if you're going to get a fine, you
Load
might
it
as well try to just hammer out 3 or 4 things that could get you fined.
Yeah.
And then you're going to slide away with just the one. Kind of a brilliant move
Don't
when you
hold
look
back.
at the overall thought process on this bad boy. But yeah, he's going to get it. With that being said, I mean, we'll continue to roll with these text messages, so keep them coming in at 780-218-9999.
Lakers now 19-19. Get a big game with the Suns tomorrow, boys. Huh?
Well, they played the Suns well. Yeah. They've played the Suns well. The
Suns have lost 2 straight.
Raptors have to go up against the Clippers tonight.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how the Raptors come out in this one. Clippers have been absolutely rolling. Also, so they're both coming off losses to the Lakers. I say a lot maybe about the Raptors tonight. Like if they can come out and put together like another good performance against the Clippers, even if they come up short, I think you probably got to be
Kawhi.
Probably got to be happy with it. I would think. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. We're going to talk a little bit with Craig Button about offside reviews, and just I feel like for how long that we've been watching these offside reviews, you'd be able to watch one now and go, okay, yeah, that's offside. Okay, no, that's not offside. Like we've been watching this for years now, and I still don't know if anybody knows exactly what's going on.
Well, I think the
possession rule with offside.
I think the point in sports too, any sport, is when you introduce that review, it's supposed to leave little to no doubt, right? Like you're kind of getting, you're re-looking and going, yeah, well, this is we're gonna get it right. But now you're left with more questions than answers after the process. And when it's taking upwards of 10 minutes or half a period, I mean, that's to your point. I mean, get the pitch clock out there. I'm saying 2 minutes. To hell with your 3, 2.
Should you not be able to look at it as an official and go, freeze it here, offside?
There's not much else.
Freeze it here.
It's one specific.
Not offside.
Yeah.
That's why I always I don't know. It's infuriating.
2 points.
Trey Ford hearing about MBT's new contract.
This is completely BS. This is shame.
Maddie, shake your head. You like that one?
It's true.
You are very anti the MBT decision.
This is a turning point with my love of Chris Jones.
Wait a second. You loved Chris Jones in the first place?
I was a big Chris Jones defender.
Really?
I was a big fan of Chris Jones.
Even recently?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
But this is
still
the
believe
straw
that this was the one that I'm going. Like I if I was Rick Lawlisher, I would contemplate firing Chris Jones because of this.
For this decision?
Yeah.
Wow, Hot Takes doesn't return until tomorrow, buddy.
100%.
He wants in.
100%.
Really? He's trying to make the team better.
For this season.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
To save his job.
But don't you think the overall organization is like, we got to be better this season?
Okay, but if McLeod Bethel Thompson goes 10-8 versus Trey Ford going 8-10, what's better for this franchise moving forward? What could fans live with? Like, Trey Ford is a potential quarterback for a decade here in this city if he develops properly.
Could be.
Still could be, but I feel like this is a relationship where now Trey Ford's looking at Chris Jones and goes, this guy doesn't believe in me at all. I don't care. Chris Jones has said for the last 3 years, we believe in Trey Ford, but has never shown him faith.
He's not here to coddle guys.
He's not here to coddle, and he's never given him a chance, really. Like last year, the only reason he started was because he had to. Because Daggy couldn't do it and Taylor Cornelius couldn't do it. He was forced to go with Trey Ford. You have a potential of Trey Ford being here for a long time, whereas MBT, maybe he does well this year. How many more years do you get with McLeod Bethel Thompson? He's 36 this season, who's already contemplated retirement. And who sells tickets?
Yeah, but what if they roll with Trey Ford and they win 5 games?
What if they roll with McLeod Bethel Thompson and win 5 games?
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
MBT. Here's the thing about McLeod Bethel Thompson. I love calling it MBT. It's just easy.
Why? It's MBT, the QB.
The law firm.
MBT.
He had one good season in 2019. He had one excellent season in 2022. Led his team to the Grey Cup game. I will give him credit for that. Didn't win them the Grey Cup game. And in his time in Toronto, he was the starter and then lost that job like 3 times.
So
Once
Trey
to
Ford
Nick Arbuckle. Well, but like that's like even the money, it's just he hasn't. I think people are overrating what MBT was with Toronto. The Argos were better with McLeod Bethel Thompson leaving so they can give the ball to Chad Kelly. And look, they went with a young quarterback and look how it worked out for them. Now, I'm not saying Trey Ford's necessarily going to be Chad Kelly, but I hate the argument that, well, Trey Ford, he hasn't played a full season. Well, yeah, he can't play a full season if you don't start him. At some point, you got to give the guy a chance. And I don't think he has shown anything that he can't be the starter. And he also saved Chris Jones' job last year, and this is how Chris Jones repaid him.
Okay, yeah, that's, you know what? Of all the things you just babbled on about, I will say he did probably save Chris Jones' job last season.
If they don't win those 4 games down the stretch, or like in that second half of the season, Chris
fair.
Jones is not the
That's
head coach and general manager of this franchise right now.
And with his style of play, made people dream.
Very excited.
It gave you a little bit of an excitement, and I don't know if MBT really screams excitement. Doesn't
Not
to
at
me.
all.
He doesn't scream.
It's kind of the antithesis of it, but
yeah, they're the exact opposite quarterbacks.
And when I look at a cap situation, this is where I hate the CFL that they don't have like a cap friendly or something. They've now spent they got $100,000 in Taylor Cornelius. Let's just go hard money, $400 on MBT. Well, how about take that $400,
get 2 offensive linemen,
go put it on the old lineman, and see what Trey Ford could do with an offensive line. Because if that offensive line plays like it did last year, McLeod Bethel Thompson can't run like Trey Ford.
He'd be under a lot of heat.
This is completely BS. This is shame.
Took the words right out of your mouth. Man.
Thanks, Doug.
Those clips moving forward are going to be absolutely incredible. All right, we've got a sports rewind coming up. Craig Button is going to join us just after 7 o'clock. We'll get his thoughts on offside reviews in general. Eric Macramalla around 7:45. Free advice today. What do you need help with? Work advice, relationship advice, maybe some fantasy football dynasty advice, fantasy hockey advice.
Tax season is coming.
Tax season is coming. Do those. Do your taxes. 780-218-9999. $99.99 if you need help with anything. We'll give you that free advice for Damon Bunting, local slumlord, just after 7:30 this morning. Let's get to a sports rewind with LTE.
Connor McDavid's 15th of the season. Leon Draisaitl with his 19th of the year. The Oilers defeat Chicago 2-1, picking up their 8th straight win. Edmonton managing just 15 shots on net, while Stuart Skinner made 25 saves in the win. The 3-game road trip continues tomorrow with a stop in Detroit. Edmonton now 2 points back of the top wildcard spot. That's held by Nashville. They also have 4 games in hand on the Preds. Predators dropping 1-2 Anaheim last night, 5-3. Kraken remain red hot. They pick up their 7th straight win, 5-2 over Buffalo. Kings falling in overtime to Tampa, 3-2. Jets blank Columbus 5-0 for their 7th straight win. And Canucks also win again. They top the Islanders 5-2. AJHL action last night. Canmore shutting out Calgary 6-0. Drumheller edging Camrose 3-2. And Blackfalds defeating Bonnyville 4-1. Just the lone game tonight. Out in Spruce Grove from the Grant Fuhr Arena as the 10th place Saints host the 2nd place Sherwood Park Crusaders. Puck drop, 7 o'clock. Pair of games in the PWHL this evening. New York hosts Montreal, while Toronto will visit Minnesota. In the NBA, Anthony Davis, 20 of his 41 points coming in the fourth quarter as the Lakers top the Raptors 132-131. Raps remain in LA to face the Clippers tonight. It'll be one of 10 games around the NBA. The Lakers will prep to host the Suns tomorrow. This Sports Rewind brought to you by Universal Rewind, industrial electric motor sales and service. Servicing many industries we rely on daily, from agriculture and aggregates to food processing and industrial manufacturing. Choose expertise, experience, and quality. Choose Universal Rewind.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
$7:02 on the Nielsen Show, and it is it's cooling down. It's cooling down a little bit, and it's going to get even colder. I mean, we're looking at some ridiculous temperatures over the next little while. A high of minus 21 for today, which is coming your way a little bit later on this afternoon. More snow in the forecast this afternoon as well. Tomorrow, minus 24. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, minus 31, minus 31, and minus 29, with overnight temperatures minus 40, minus 42, and minus 40. I don't spend a lot of time watching like news and weather, like television shows. But yesterday when I turned on the TV to watch the hockey game, CTV was on, and Clausen was doing the weather.
I watched that one as well.
And as I'm watching it, and I texted him after, and it was great because he goes, anytime you guys need to know anything about the weather in the morning, I'm always listening while I build the forecast, so feel free to fire me a call or whatever. But he is so good at his job. Like, I was just sitting there, and Tammy's just like, you're just loving this. I said, look at it. Like, he's brilliant. Clausen's absolutely brilliant.
At one point, he
when it
said,
comes to the weather.
next week it might warm up, but he's like, according to my models.
Yeah,
like
I know.
He goes against and he just gives you his own personal thoughts. And,
he's got his models
in the lab, yeah.
And he knows it.
Yeah.
And he said, by next week, he goes, basically by Monday or Tuesday, don't trust anything you're seeing right now. Because there's the cold Arctic air is going to be pushed off, and there's some warm air coming up through BC, but we might just be on the edge of it.
You saw that bulge, Jay, that bubble of warmth coming in from the west.
Klaus is just, he's unreal at what he does, man. I don't know why I should be surprised by this. He's been doing it for 20 years. Like,
he's right at the top of my list of things I miss of the old place, is seeing Clausen on a regular basis and just chatting with him.
Yeah, it was. He's just so damn good at the weather. So I like when it gets cold because I pay more attention to the weather and I watch a little bit more Josh Clausen. It can't go wrong. Craig Button stepping in today for our Hockey Insider, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialist, located in Edmonton, St. Albert Trail and 128th Ave. That's 1 block north of the Yellowhead. Go on the Yellowhead, turn north. They're right there on the left. And, of course, you can visit them online, which is easy. If you don't want to go out right now, you can still sit in your house nice and warm and order things at proamsports.ca. Like you, they're sports nerds, too. Good morning, Mr. Button. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Although Clausen should get out right at the ridge.
where he thinks like the warm is going to begin and the cold is, and like kind of walk everybody through. He goes, like, if you're on this side of the road, it's going to be hot, and if you're on this side of the road, it's going to be cold. Like take us into real, like, make us feel the weather. I mean, he's entertaining, but we need to feel it. Like, I need the icicles coming down his face, like his eyebrows all iced up.
If Josh Clausen was really committed to his weather forecasts, he'd do them outside every day. I think
exactly.
Yeah. Who can't do weather in front of a green screen, man? It's way too easy. Way too easy. Craig, how was the World Juniors? How'd that go for you?
Not as good as it went for you in the Spengler Cup. I hate you every time I see you at the Spengler Cup. I love you. It's the best tournament on the planet, the Spengler Cup. You're in Davos. How great is that? The World Junior was wonderful. It always is wonderful, as is the Spengler Cup. And, Gothenburg's a great city. It's a great hockey city. It's a great winter city. And, again, the World Junior brings together the best young players under 20 in the world, and it's a great competition. I always look forward to it, and it was fantastic. The two best teams played the gold medal, as it should be, and the best team won.
Let's just quickly stick with that, and then we'll get to the Oilers and the Blackhawks and a few other stories around the National Hockey League. But what's your overall take on the Philadelphia Flyers and Cutter Gauthier and everything that happened there for a kid that just had a phenomenal tournament? As that Danny Briere and Jones said right after it, they're not sure they'd ever be able to trade him at a higher high than what he was coming off the World Juniors. But your thoughts on how that whole story unfolded?
Well, the story unfolded, and like a pancake, there's two sides to it. We haven't heard Cutter's side to it. It was a hell of a smear job by the Philadelphia Flyers after they traded him. It's always, hey, things happen. Players, I'm a player advocate. If you don't want to go play somewhere and you want to go play somewhere else, just be upfront about it. I mean, bottom line is Cutter told him, I'm not coming to play there. Who cares what he said on draft day or whatnot? That gives you a right to go and smear a player. I think what the Philadelphia Flyers did was a smear campaign. You went and got a player, Jamie Drysdale, second-round pick, for a player that said he wasn't going to play for you. Move on. It's as simple as that. And, I thought Ken Campbell had a great tweet the other day. It's amazing how the Flyers fans weren't crying when Eric Lindros was dictating where he wanted to go. Yeah, a bunch of hypocrites. That's what I'd call the whole Flyer thing. Cutter Gauthier an elite prospect. Jamie Drysdale's had injury problems. He's a really good prospect too. He's got to get over them and find a way to stay in the lineup. When things aren't going your way, and in this case, they weren't going Flyers' way with Cutter Gauthier. Find a way to resolve the issue. That's what the Flyers did. They made a good trade. Move on. You don't have to get into a smear campaign.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned the smear campaign thing, because one of the things Danny Briere said is one of the reasons they kept it under wrap was to protect the kid. And I was like, wait a second here. This is weird, because you kept it under wraps until you moved on from him, and now obviously there's some sources in Philly throwing some stuff out there. So it didn't sit well, I think, on a bunch of different levels. And we'll see. I mean, two pretty good players being flipped, and if they can hit in their new spots, both teams could end up being happy with that one. Craig, the Oilers narrowly get by the Chicago Blackhawks, a banged-up Blackhawks team last night. Where do you come out, and we've had a lot of discussion about this today, critiquing a win of any kind? Like, a win is a win. They need the 2 points, but my goodness, that's an ugly one last night.
Yeah, it is ugly, but it's a win. And, you're playing against a team that has a lot of pride. I mean, yeah, we can look at the lineup, and we know that they're not as talented as the Oilers, but they're going to play hard. They're playing for their jobs. They're playing to not be embarrassed. And the Oilers had a couple of goals disallowed, and certainly the Hawks are hanging in there. I mean, it's still the NHL, and certainly 2 points. There was games early in the season where the Oilers played well enough and didn't win. And, we're going, okay, what's wrong? So, when they win a game like they did against Chicago, I think it's important. Hey, what did we learn from it? Move on, get on to the next game. That's the way I look at it. You look at their schedule and you look at who they're playing. I mean, really, until they get to the post-All-Star break, I think that's really when they can start to try to make some inroads on the teams above them in the Pacific. Because right now, they're just going to pile up points, and I don't think it's till you start playing LA, you start playing Vegas, you start playing Vancouver, that you can really start to put a dent into their lead in the standings. But, hey, pile up the points now, get closer to them, and then get after them when you get the chance to play against them.
I'm with you there, Craig. 2 points is 2 points. Lots of fans, obviously, that offside call last night. I went out and shoveled my driveway during the review. If you're running the league, how do you manage reviews moving forward? What would you do? What would you change? If this is Craig Button's league, how are you handling off? Do you get rid of offsides completely? Where are you taking this thing, and what were your thoughts last night on that call?
Well, okay, so I'm going to just go take a step back, Eric, and I think it's important to know. The managers are the ones that created this problem. The managers, the general managers in the National Hockey League created this problem. Gary Bettman warned them. He warned them. He said, you want to take goals off the board? You want to take goals off that we're talking about inches here? Is that what you really want? And the manager said, yeah, that's what we really want. So I would say to anybody that wants to complain about the offside, send a letter to your local general manager and complain. Fill his inbox with complaints because they're the reason why the offside is here. So now the NHL, all the managers want to get it right. Okay, so it takes time to get it right because keep in mind you're taking a goal off the board. You're taking a goal off the board when you come to the review. So everybody wants to make sure we have it right. Okay, so don't start. I know it's frustrating to watch a review to see how long it takes, and I know we'd like it to take longer. I blame the managers. The managers created the monster. They built Frankenstein. Don't complain when Frankenstein wreaks havoc all the way through the league.
You know what? A lot of people always use a Frankenstein reference. I'm just going to slide in here quickly and say, I've never seen a Frankenstein movie or show. Like I've never really watched any sort of Frankenstein. You a big Frankenstein guy, Craig?
I actually have not, Dustin.
Yeah, I know, me neither.
Like Frankenstein is outdated. Like we got to come up with a new term for some diabolical creation that wreaks havoc. So
we know so many people.
I'll come up with it.
So many people.
I'm never using Frankenstein again. This is the last time I'm ever using Frankenstein.
We all use it, but I've never been somebody who's like, oh, man, I really love Frankenstein projects. Like I really love the movies and stuff. I don't know, man. I feel like we've all been overusing
make a reboot. Yeah. Why not?
How was it? If Frankenstein was good, it would have been rebooted modern day here in the last little while. Would it not have for the money? It doesn't make a lot of sense there. Craig, do you think they would ever get to a point? This was suggested to me on Twitter last night when people were breaking down the game. Do you think they'd ever get to a point where they say, you have 3 minutes to review this, no longer? If you can't tell the correct call in 3 minutes, the call on the ice stands.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Dustin. I really do because, we talk about the flow of the game, getting it right. I mean, we want to get it right, but there comes a time when, the flow gets impacted. And certainly if you can't determine one way or another within 180 seconds, I think that's fair. I think that's a good suggestion. I think it's worth trying. I think it's worth, and then you could have the clock sponsored. 180 seconds goes up, and there's
there you go. There you go.
There's a countdown, and then as Eric is shoveling his driveway, he has the red light that goes off. A decision is going to be made. He can run back in and see what happens.
Craig Button with us on the show this morning, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. The Oilers have won 8 in a row again. They won 8 in a row. They dropped 3. They've won 8 in a row again. They've won 16 of their last 19. They're doing it with McLeod and Fogle playing with Draisaitl and Evander Kane. He played 13 minutes last night. He's got 4 points since December 1st. And I know we've had some people texting into saying, guys, do they have to get Evander Kane going? And part of me is like, yes. But then the other part of me is like, well, they've won 8 in a row with him playing lackluster right now. So what do you need to get from Evander Kane, if anything, down the stretch here?
One of the things watching Evander play, I don't see somebody that's skating and invested physically in the game. I think when Evander's at his best, you see him skating, you see him moving fast into the play, creating a lot of disruption for defenders and opponents. And then when the physical play is there and he's playing with that edge, I think he becomes a real significant factor. If I was talking to Evander, those would be the two things that I would be emphasizing with him. Plus, you got to get your skating and your pace of your game up, and then get involved physically. He looks like he's going out on the ice, and he's just kind of, okay, I got to shift. I look, I watch. Okay, I go off.
Yeah, a little bit.
On, I look, I watch. That's what it looks like to me. He's a better player than he's been playing. Good news, as you point out, for the Oilers, they keep winning. And certainly Ryan McLeod and Warren Fogle have played really well. What was it last night during the game? I think the Oilers had 11 shots on goal at one point, and I heard Jack Michaels say 4 of them were by Fogle.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Yeah, he was getting pucks on net. And then they had 2 stretches last night of over 10 minutes where they didn't have a shot on goal against Chicago, which is just a weird one. But they won it. Actually, the brightest spot of last night's game, I thought Stuart Skinner was really good in some key moments for him.
You know, it's amazing. You know, we know how poor the Oilers at 5-12-1 started out. We know how that Stuart Skinner's done. Just take the whole equation out of it from those first, 15 games, whatever. Stuart Skinner's been a really solid goaltender since that point in time. He has been really solid. But, you know, they want to keep – everybody wants to keep putting the numbers from early on. Eliminate those numbers and just show what he's done. It's been phenomenal. Are we going to continue to talk about Connor McDavid being 153rd in the league scoring after a period of time? I think Stuart Skinner deserves the same type of benefit of moving forward past that bad stretch for the Oilers.
Before I let you go, Craig, let's throw this one at you. Which team is better, Winnipeg or Vancouver?
Geez, I think Winnipeg is.
Yeah, okay.
I think Winnipeg's bottom end of their forward group is better. I think Winnipeg's third line might be the best third line in the National Hockey League. Obviously, you know, Quinn Hughes is an elite player, but Josh Morrissey and the rest of that blue line is really good. And I think Hellebuck's better than Demko. Demko's a heck of a goaltender. I mean, you're looking at those 2 goaltenders, but I just think that the Winnipeg, you know, they're the best defensive team in the league. They have the best goaltending, and they're big and fast and strong. So are the Vancouver Canucks. So, you know, it's a good story for both those cities, for both Vancouver and Winnipeg and their fans.
Craig, thanks a lot for moving to Wednesday. We appreciate it, man, and we'll catch up next week.
Thanks, Craig.
Any way I can help, always ready to do so. Thanks for having me.
There you go. Craig Button, one of the nicest guys in the business, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. Visit them online at proamsports.ca. I didn't mean for that Frankenstein conversation to come up.
No, but you raised a good point.
Well, with
all the reboots, you're a superhero, all that Marvel universe. I mean, there's money to be made. Why not just
I really don't know much about Frankenstein at all.
But you could take all the monsters. You could have a series of, rebooting the monster movies.
I don't know. Is Frankenstein kind of fallen by the wayside? Is that because the entire Frankenstein concept sucked? Is it too dark nowadays? I don't know. Somebody said the young Frankenstein in canon. I mean, I don't even know about young Frankenstein. Somebody said he was the victim. I don't even know the origin story of Frankenstein. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy?
Isn't he the doc anyways? The one that makes the monster? Like, it's Frankenstein's monster, right? Isn't that how it goes?
Yeah, but isn't he but the big guy's called Frankenstein, isn't he?
No, it's what? It's Dr. Frankenstein makes the monster.
I think Eric's right.
Right? Isn't
What's
that how
the
it goes?
monster's name then?
I think it's just like a monster or something.
No.
I'm pretty sure
No.
Isn't that how it goes? No.
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 The monster never gets a name.
What?
Yeah,
You're
so
telling me
the monster's
Frankenstein's
referred
not
to in
called
different ways.
Frankenstein?
Twist.
Yeah, the monster's referred to in different ways throughout the book. The monster, the creature, fiend, demon, wretch, but never has a name.
Yeah.
It's Dr. Frankenstein that was the young scientist
Or
who
Heinrich von Frankenstein.
developed the monster. Yeah.
See? If you would have seen this in a theater, you would have been...
Wow. Wow. I'm stunned right now. I've lived I'm 42. I'll be 43 this year. I've lived my whole life thinking the big green dude with the bolts coming out of his neck, his name was Frankenstein.
Nope.
And the bolts out of the neck or the head? There are two...
I think
depending
it's the
on
neck.
But some people have them in the head.
Really?
Depending on where you are in the world, I think it's a regional. No.
European Frankenstein, which isn't his real name.
Heinrich von Frankenstein.
I wonder how many
mad
people.
scientist.
I wonder how many people know this. Like,
I think there's a good mix of people
one of
not
those
knowing
pub
this.
trivia questions.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that when you say it, like some people are like, oh yeah, they'll forget. I'm like, oh, you're right. Like when you mention it, I was like, oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
like
you don't think about it though.
And then there's some people like you, Dustin, that just have no idea.
yeah.
Yep.
This guy just
Because it's
texted and
still called
says
Frankenstein.
his name is Gary. Was that his name before he got Frankenstein, I guess? Man, this is a real game changer for me. How did I not know this?
Rebecca in Calgary, Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. English teacher here.
Okay.
The Frankenstein allegory is timeless and persists through to this day because it's a story about the dangers of unchecked ambition, the consequences of playing God, and the ethical responsibilities of creators towards their creations.
It's a really good point.
That's the whole
It's
idea
the message behind the story.
Exactly, yeah. It's almost like Jurassic Park. Dr.
Yes,
Frankenstein
100%.
walked so
So we
Dr.
can
Hammond could run.
Yes. and then whatever happened in the world
Look at
versions.
this guy. I love it.
I'm stunned. I'm stunned right now.
Look
That's
at
a
Craig
great point
Button.
with-
I've completely misrepresented Frankenstein all this time. I've used it around the I feel shame.
Yeah.
He
Is
feels.
he
I,
listening still too?
yeah, he's,
Awesome.
Wait, who said that?
Yeah, he's still on the show. He's still there.
I mean, I'm tweeting out right now. Did you know that this guy's name isn't Frankenstein? Like I just. Oh man, that's unbelievable! What a morning! What a morning!
you gonna get your ears pierced? Frankenstein.
me not knowing that the monster's name wasn't Frankenstein.
It's a complete crap.
Maybe the monster's name was
This
Doug.
is the most stunned I've been doing the show in 15 bloody years. I always thought his name was Frankenstein.
This tops the Whistle Dog. This tops A&W
This
guy
is up
walking
there
into the
with,
studio.
with Alan from A&W walking into studio, surprising us with Whistle Dogs. This is right up there with that. My God, that's wild to me. Joe Belineski's in and says, first we find out Beaumont has no hotels, and now this. Dusty's had a rough week. Did you know that, Alanic?
I didn't know that until you guys were talking about
Beaumont
yesterday.
has no hotels or motels.
That's through us.
And the
Not even a
community's
motel.
like proud of it. It's a weird thing. They can't even have relatives stay close to them. It's unbelievable.
Well, one guy, actually, I got an Instagram DM yesterday afternoon.
Did you text that to me and I didn't reply?
No,
I feel so bad not replying to texts.
Yeah, it comes in from Cam. No hotel in Beaumont because it's a city ordinance. Never have and never will. The Catholic Church was very
Never
influential.
will?
The Catholic Church was very influential, not wanting transients and vagrants.
You don't want
It's
that riffraff
closed
that comes
community.
into the hotels.
Build
you know?
the wall. Yeah, it's just a enclosed.
Let Nisku have it.
Well, that's what they say.
I know.
But would you rather not spend a night in Beaumont than Nisku? Sorry, Nisku, but I mean,
No,
Nisku's a hard-looking little place, you know? I'd rather spend a night in Beaumont. It's quaint. It's a quaint little town.
I was wanting to
Beaumont.
yesterday, and now I can't. It's a day
Yeah,
trip.
he was gonna take his wife
I was
down
going to
for
drop
for
a lot of
weekend
money.
in
A
Beaumont.
lot of money.
All these tourism dollars are out the window.
Flush it.
So this has been a hell of a week.
So, but like, did you guys discuss the idea of EST open up a hotel?
Yeah, we
or
did. Of
motel?
course we did.
Okay, just
Yeah.
round it off.
Yeah, we called it the stay and play.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, you could stay and
Well,
play.
playing off your nap emporium, you can kind of, it's all.
Yeah, Nielson Nap Emporium has to happen. That's why I want to rent the office down the hall.
Visit Beaumont, have a nap. Or
Because you
something
can't
along
sleep
those-
anywhere overnight.
That's
but
how
you
we
can
get
nap
through.
for 2
That's how we
hours.
get through the regulations.
What's that?
It's a nap emporium. It's not a
just a
hotel
nap.
or motel. It's a
Oh,
nap
I thought you were
emporium.
talking about our building when I joke with our landlord that I'm going to sleep here some nights. She goes, "Nobody can sleep here."
No, that was the other place we looked at.
Oh, was it the other place?
Yeah, it
He
wasn't
said
this
nobody
Oh yeah,
can
that
sleep
lady.
here.
You're right. She didn't want us to sleep.
Because
there.
you joked like, Matt, we could sleep here, and she's like, yeah, there's no sleeping here. You're not allowed. I'm like, oh, okay, we're just.
Yeah, it was a.
She was like
this-
adamant.
It wasn't as
Something
good as this
must have
place
happened.
anyway.
There must have been an episode. Or
Like it was one like it was like Dusty just making the point of like if there's a late night and you have to like instead of driving home just a night to crash.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
odds
she
are we're
was
all going to
just-
sleep here.
It's
at
like
some
she
point.
was gonna make sure that
You
like,
hurt her.
She was gonna watch her cars and make sure they leave every night.
Black sedan creep.
Unbelievable.
You're
I mean,
here.
I'm rattled. I'm rattled. I just thought. I think we got to move on. We got to move past this. We can get back to offside reviews if we want.
bookmark it and ask Macramalla his thoughts. Just ask him cold if he knows or not. And
what is the name?
He's a smart man.
Well, that's
Who is Frankenstein?
yes. Describe
That's the question.
Frankenstein to me.
You say who is
And if he
Frankenstein?
goes with the
Do you know what he's gonna say if I say describe Frankenstein? He's gonna say, "Well, a big green monster."
Yeah, yeah.
That's why you just go, who is Frankenstein?
He won't know.
Heinrich von.
Well, maybe he'll know. He's a
'cause
highly intelligent lawyer.
He'll either say it's the monster or he'll say it's the doctor. There's no in between. I don't think he'd have some sort
It's a
of
small cast.
like from like, but you have to like it can't be just Frankenstein in the world, but you just have that like from the book and movies and who is Frankenstein, and see what he says.
What is?
In the Frankenstein book, he's called the creature.
Yeah.
What is this? All right, look, we've got a busy second hour still to come. We're going to get your Cool Bay hotline of the day featuring a Mr. Lean appearance, which is nice. Free advice coming up just after 7:30, which should be excellent today. If you need help with anything, life advice. I mean, I'm going to need a bit of a reality check here after this Frankenstein news today. But I'll still try to give you some advice. It's free. Life advice, work advice, relationship advice, fantasy hockey advice, fantasy football advice, whatever you need help with, 780-218-9999. Macramalla coming up around 7:45. 3 questions too many. Kind of easy trivia. Greg Wyshynski, the rap for William Huff. weekly rankings of power. Lieutenant Eric will bring those to you
First
in
of
the
the
third
new
hour.
year.
Too. First of the new year. Yeah, that's always.
I have to go over some resolutions, perhaps.
You're going to drop resolutions power rankings on January 10th?
Well, it's first of the year. I can still say we can still say this is our first week back. We can still say Happy New Year. We've been saying it to guys.
Are you doing resolutions for us?
Yeah.
But what if we've already accidentally done something?
Cats out of the
2 days
bag.
ago? What if one of the resolutions was Maddie says he
don't
fixes
worry.
the board, but it wasn't fixed?
It's not going to be it. Edmonton Sports Talk 2024 New Year's resolutions. That's what's going to be.
Okay.
Weekly brings.
Okay. No, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I just wonder if people will be like, "This is a bogus list."
No.
All right, let's get in your cool bet hotline of the day. It's been a tough week. It's been a tough week so far. We were on Washington, blew it. We're on the Oilers -2.5, blew that. Although technically they did put 4 pucks into the back of the net, only allowed 1. I'm gonna message boys at Cool Bet and be like, "Listen, I'm gonna need you to give me this -2.5."
It's complete crap.
It is, Mr. Lean, with a shoulder that's been cleaned. Right? Is that what they did?
They did went in there and cleaned it out. Yeah,
They cleaned it out a little bit, I would think. What are you looking at tonight? Is there soccer or something you want to get on?
There actually isn't.
No.
Yeah, there is. Huge match. Fulham Liverpool. Leg
Is that
1.
tonight?
Carabao Cup semifinals this afternoon.
Oh, I didn't
Wait, they're
see it
playing
right off the
FA
bat.
Cup and Carabao Cup right now?
Yeah.
Oh, they're in the 4th round of the FA Cup, semifinals of the Carabao, already in the knockout stage of the Europa League, and top of the Premier League.
Are you saying Carabao or Carabao?
Carabao, it's an energy drink.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
So what is this? So how does that rank compared to FA?
It's similar.
It's the smaller cup.
But it starts
The smallest of
earlier.
the cups. You have Carabao Cup, FA
a
Cup,
sense. For Premier League, it
European
starts
competition, and then the league.
And
This is
people
the
have an
busiest
issue
time of
with
the year.
in-season tournament in the NBA.
It's more money,
This
baby.
is the biggest time of the busiest time of year for Premier League soccer or English
So in
soccer
the
because
Carabao
you could be
Cup-
playing in 4 competitions as of January through to I guess March. I think that's when the Carabao Cup gets handed out.
Which is the one where they play like men's league teams?
Carabao and FA Cup.
Really?
Yeah.
That's wild to me.
I didn't see that one. Like it didn't pop up, but there's nothing to bet there
Chelsea
anyway.
lost the first leg to Middlesbrough yesterday 1-0, which is
I don't get how they choose which one's 2 legs and which one's a single leg. 'Cause some of them are only single, and they go
semifinals.
Yeah, but then the final is only single, and every round before that's single. But for the semis, we do double. Like,
don't hate the game, hate the players.
Well, what are you leaning on, Mr. Lean?
Busy night in the association.
Yeah, it is.
This is all just a lean, but I'm looking at Warriors Pelicans. Pelicans, I know, have won 5 of their last 6. Warriors have lost 5 of their last 7, and one of their wins was against the Pistons. But they are home. They haven't played since Sunday. It's plus 100 on the Warriors. I like that value of them at home. On a primetime game, it's on ABC.
Still called the Oracle? Is that
It's the Oracle. I'd lean to, if you're looking for, like, I know the Pelicans are playing well, and the Warriors not as much right now. I'd lean towards the Warriors, maybe, getting that victory tonight at home.
I'm going to stick with the association for the Cool Bet hotline of the day as well, and this will give us a little bit of a chance to chat about this number. It looks like it's off the book right now, but the number is sitting there. Where are we at on the Raptors? Plus 10 tonight against the Clippers.
Off Darko's rant?
They're fired up coming out of last night's game. Like, I'm very
They're not
interested to
traveling.
see.
Same place.
Is there a significant letdown here? Like, does James Harden come out and torch him early, and then that's it? Is there a Kawhi revenge game or whatever? But 10's a big number for a Raptors team that has won 3 of 5, have looked excellent since the trade, probably deserved a better fate last night against the Lake Show, and they're playing back in the same barn again tonight. It's not like they have to travel literally anywhere. They went home, slept last night, got up and play again tonight.
And they'll be angry.
I don't think they'll win tonight.
No, but
10 points seems like a pretty big number right now. I'm gonna say it. Let's get on the Raptors plus 10 tonight against the Los Angeles Clippers. I don't know if the Raptors are getting, like, is this number so big just because of the back-to-backs? Or are people just not respecting the Rap yet since the deal? Because they look significantly better since the trade. So, yeah, I'll take the Raptors plus 10 for your cool bet hotline of the day. Hashtag Association City. All right, what do you need help with? Free advice coming up next for Damon Bunting, buying or selling. Bunting's your guy. Visit the website at damonbunting.com. What do you need help with? 780-218-9999. Macramalla coming up. You know what we'll discuss with Macramalla? Kimmel v. Rogers.
He'll have a take.
Rogers responded yesterday.
After talking with his lawyers, I would assume.
Does anybody in sports make you eye roll more than Aaron Rodgers? Like, whether you love him, if you still do love him, or you hate him, I think there's an eye roll almost every time he makes an appearance.
He's pushing buttons. He's pulling levers.
Not if you love him.
No, I think even if you love him,
No.
you probably roll your eyes and you're like, ugh.
Oh,
If
Aaron.
you still
Like,
love
just
Aaron
shut
right
up.
now, you love what he's saying.
You don't think guys who love Aaron Rodgers wouldn't eye roll a little bit?
You can like
at
football.
some of the stuff he
you can
says.
like football.
No, because
Aaron.
they agree with what Aaron's saying.
No, but you can like
It
football.
depends
Aaron.
on if you like him as a football player
Exactly.
or you
Like,
like
there's
some of
two.
the ridiculous takes that he
Yeah,
drops.
like as a Jets fan, you may like Aaron. Hey, he gives us a good chance.
So they like the
You-
talent of Aaron Rodgers, but they don't like the person.
Yeah.
I think
That's
the
where
people
the
that like
yeah,
the
but I
person.
still eye roll LeBron once in a while.
Sure.
Yeah, but they're different in what they're saying and things.
No, I'm just talking about with the odd like.
No, I know.
But two things can be.
I think the people that like Aaron as a person agree with everything he says.
I get into it with Macramalla. And if you need free advice right now, 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat today as well. Tell your friends about Edmonton Sports Talk. You can listen on TuneIn. You can listen to EdmontonSportsTalk.com. And, of course, you can watch right here on YouTube. And you can subscribe to all the podcasts. So if you miss anything, you can listen over there as well. Let's get to a sports update for Park Mazda.
Edmonton Oilers, 2 points. 2 points. It's all that matters. They defeat Chicago 2-1, picking up their 8th straight win last night. Connor McDavid's 15th of the campaign, and Leon Draisaitl notching his 19th goal of the season. Stuart Skinner, 25 saves for the win. The 3-game road trip continues tomorrow with a stop in Detroit. Edmonton now 2 points back of the top wildcard spot, currently being held by Nashville. They also have 4 games in hand on the Preds. Preds dropping one to the Ducks, 5-3 last night. Kraken remain red hot. They won 7 straight with a 5-2 win over Buffalo. Kings falling in overtime to Tampa 3-2. LA 3-4-3 in its last 10. Jets also picking up their 7 straight wins, shutting out Columbus 5-0. Canucks topping the Islanders 5-2. And Arizona keeping pace in the wild card race as they defeat the Bruins 4-3 in overtime. AJHL action last night saw Drumheller edge Camrose 3-2. Canmore shuts out Calgary 6-0, and Black falls over Bonnyville 4-1. Big one tonight out at Grant Fuhr Arena. The 10th place Spruce Grove Saints hosting the 2nd place Sherwood Park Crusaders. Puck drop, 7 o'clock. A pair of games in the PWHL this evening. New York at home to Montreal, while Toronto visit Minnesota. And in the NBA, the Lakers out free-throwing the Raptors 36-13. They defeat Toronto 132-131. Raptors remain in LA. They'll face the Clippers tonight, one of 10 games around the association. Sports update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and Mitch Lewicki. Even he had more free throws last night than the Raptors.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki in a tuxedo t-shirt because it says, like, he wants to be formal, but he's also here to party too.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Cross your heart, hope to die. Move your lips, tell another lie. If you're going to curse, choose your words wisely. Break out the dirt, show me your sins. I wanna know where you've been. And if you tell me first, we can do this quietly. Well, we can do it loud.
Shut up! Whale and the Wolf won't leave us alone. What was it yesterday? Raimai texted in from the closet saying
That was a great text.
Luke pissed himself after
a
the
bottle of
Washington loss.
Drambuie.
Have to throw some wet wipes into him from Mr. Mike's. I love when we get text messages from inside the Whale and the Wolf closet. It's perfect. Actually, what we should get is Whale and the Wolf logo and put right on the door there.
I'm sure we can make that
Hey,
work.
we get like a big sort of sticky and put it right on the door. I think that'd be a good idea. I like that. We got Eric Macramalla coming up here around 7:45. And right now we're going to get into free advice. What do you think percentage of people is here that didn't know it was Frankenstein? Like 30% of us, maybe?
As Manny says, it's one of those things that you forget over time sometimes.
See, I didn't even know it in the first place.
That's
you knew it. You knew it was
I
just
know,
called the monster.
but I don't like.
Yeah.
I have to think about. I'm like, oh yeah.
Your brain automatically links you to that dude being Frankenstein.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'd say maybe like 30, 40, half and half, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe a 50-50 split.
50-50.
I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. Free advice brought to you by Damon Bunting. If you're looking to buy a home or sell a home or become a slumlord, which Bunting's become pretty proud of, having that reputation, just being the best damn. Look, whatever you do, do it well.
Some of the best
do it well.
Some of the best bottled water in the business as well.
That is true.
That guy can slang a bottled water.
Nobody hawks water like this guy. He is one of the top producing realtors, not just in Edmonton, but among Western Canadian realtors. His team would love to help you. Find that right home, make the move from your current home. I always think about like moving into like a different house, but I could never leave our house. It's where we raised the kids.
You like it. It's your castle.
I like it.
Yeah,
it's enough space for us. We have a wrestling room.
You got the basketball court.
A little basketball hoop downstairs.
Decent backyard. I've been in there. It's
the
nice.
only thing I would change about my house is I'd like some. Yeah, you've been in the backyard. It's a decent backyard, but there's really nowhere in the backyard I could put a hot tub. I really want a hot tub.
You want to go down that path?
I want a hot tub, but I don't.
That's
like we have that patio. We could put it down on the patio.
Yeah.
But then that takes up where we would have the barbecue and like the patio table and stuff. So there's just I need 10 more feet.
You want a hot tub and an ODR? You're biting off a little more than you can chew here.
That's the ultimate dream. Sit in the ODR.
Could be a nightmare.
Or sit in the hot tub while the kids skate on the ODR.
Yeah. So here's an idea.
That's the dream. My buddy Beecroft has that. Lucky duck. He's a lucky duck.
So you couldn't use it in the winter, but you could get one of those inflatable hot tubs. Like Kixie has that. And
don't you love sitting outside in the winter in a hot tub?
I know, but you could have it for the summer at least, and then when you're doing ODR time, you put the ODR where the hot tub is and you deflate it. So at least you get it for half the year.
Yeah, I don't know if my wife would just allow me to put the hot tub right on the yard though, like on the grass.
Yeah, you just do it. Shoot first, ask questions.
She comes home, I'm just sitting in the middle of the backyard in a hot tub.
Join me in a soak.
I don't know. That's the only thing. I love our house. It's just, I'm always like, I wish we had. I even contemplated knocking down the shed in the corner.
You boys.
Because it's on like a flat. I could put the hot tub right there. And she goes, well, where would we
have
put
the
all the
shed?
stuff in the shed?
How much do you have in the shed? Like you
We
lawnmower would be
we
something.
got tires. We got lawnmowers. We got bikes. It's pretty full. It's pretty full.
The stag for myself. There was that smaller hot tub.
Yes.
That you and my brother were in.
Yeah,
it was
the
like
two-man.
The Dumb and Dumber, you know? Like
Yeah,
you could kind of have the... that could work.
How you have a big deck?
Yeah, but can you put a hot tub on?
Well, no, I was going to say, could you take out a portion of your deck and make it smaller? And
You think I can do that?
Well, I'll hire someone to do it.
Oh.
Vitamin J.
Sink one in a bit.
And then
Maybe,
put
sink
one on
in.
like a side or something next to it, and you just take a little less deck space, add space for a hot tub.
There's different ways.
Vitamin J says sacrifice the barbecue.
No.
Maybe you get in the smoker game. This parlays you into the smoker game. You get the big green egg or whatever it is. Eh?
I start the smoker. I sit in the hot tub for 8 hours, and then I eat my meat. All right, let's get into free advice.
Well,
What
that
do you
was
need
some
help with?
advice.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we kind of got started. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Let's start with this one. Boys, I haven't shaved since American Thanksgiving. I'm starting to think my girlfriend may leave me because she hates it and thinks I'm ridiculous for not wanting to jinx the Oilers. What do I do here?
Shave your face?
Yeah, face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you can, there's manscaping. I mean,
Yeah.
Men are a hairy beast.
You kind of got to deal with whatever's going on there, but I mean,
just wanted to clear that up. But
so this guy, obviously, since they started winning, since the season turned around when we cracked the 6 o'clocker lager for the first time. By the way, 6 o'clocker lager restocks today in Edmonton, next week, rest of the province.
And Potts out in Fort Saskatchewan, they ain't fooling
Going through
around
kegs
anymore.
like crazy.
They ain't fooling
Part of me
around.
thinks Potsy's just sitting there crushing it himself.
Hey.
Which wouldn't surprise me.
Fine by me.
But I don't know. What do you do here? Girlfriend's getting frustrated. You've had this beard since American Thanksgiving. What are you going to do, though? Shave it?
Well,
and have the Oilers completely fall apart?
I think the terminology you're using in girlfriend, I mean, there's lots of fish in the sea, correct?
Yeah. There you
What-
might
what
be
do you
able to
like?
find
What do you
somebody
like?
who loves a man with a beard.
You like the hockey team or a passing fling?
The Oilers are going to be with you forever. I say you grow that beard loud and proud, my man.
Unless she wants to put a ring on it today. Maybe that's the ultimatum here.
No. I mean, look, she should not be with you for how you look. Coming from me. I mean, they'll love you for other reasons. So, if you want to grow that beard, grow the beard, buddy. Guys, I've been listening on TuneIn for the last 2 months. I'm contemplating diving into the YouTube mix. Any advice for me on how to handle that one?
The YouTube mix?
Yeah, like they've been listening on TuneIn. I think they're intimidated by the nasty chat.
Yeah. I don't know.
But you can kind of watch anonymously. You don't have to all of a sudden have a handle on YouTube and put in funny comments.
No. You can watch for a bit, and then when it's your time to strike, you can maybe get an account and dive in. It's up to you.
Yeah, I say you just rip that Band-Aid off. And if it's too much to handle, you can always just go back to listening on TuneIn or maybe on some other platforms in the future. Man, I really pissed somebody off in the Aaron Rodgers conversation.
Really?
Well, I mean, overall, Rodgers, yeah.
Did you trigger them?
I guess I did a little bit. I thought Rodgers had some pretty good Green Bay Packers teams where he just really sort of let them down in the postseason.
I want to talk more A.J. Hawk.
No, we don't need to talk about A.J. Hawk. Nobody needs to talk about it. A.J. Hawk doesn't even talk about A.J. Hawk. Why would we talk about A.J. Hawk? Dusty, would you keep Tony Pollard or Kyron Williams for next season in Dynasty? It's got to be Williams at this point. Tony Pollard was a first-round pick this year, late first-rounder. That, I don't want to say. No, he busted based on first-round. Now, with that being said, could Kyron Williams just be next year's Tony Pollard? I'm seeing some mocks. A quick confession here as well. I'm about ready to dive into my first best ball draft for next season.
Yeah, you are.
How about that?
Yeah, you are. Imagine doing that from a hot tub, though.
Oh, God. That's the ultimate. Fantasy drafting in a hot tub with a 6 o'clocker lager.
A couple chains from Paris Jewelers around your neck.
And my blood pressure just going right through the roof. I would keep Williams. Tony Pollard was a major letdown this year. But if you got CeeDee Lamb, you like what you got going on there as well. Guys, I came home from work and my driveway was shoveled yesterday, but I have no idea who did it. So do I try to figure out who and return the favor or just let it be?
That's a good one. I waited till later in the evening to do my walk in driveway, and lo and behold, I go out and half my walk's already shoveled. So you play the patient game a bit, but then you also you pay back. I mean, it's a give and take relationship. I would assume. I would think. I would hope.
Yeah, but if you don't know who you're giving back to, what are you supposed to do?
But what are your options? You got a neighbor to the right of you, a neighbor to the left of you. I would assume
so you
it's
just
kind
do
of one of
both?
those things. Why not? Because then you're.
I mean, if you came home and one of them was already done and the other one wasn't, you would know that the guy who already did it did yours, unless the guy who didn't do his just decided to do yours by mistake or something.
I think you bank that credit. I've done it before too. You just one of those days you just say, okay, I'll do both. But then last night,
but the full driveway. He's saying driveway,
not
just the walk.
Driveway's a different story. I think you leave that people do. You don't know where the person wants the snow. Maybe they want it on that. Maybe they like the walk is the walk. You shovel the snow. It's only going one place. But a driveway, I think that's you're encroaching on personal ground.
What you do is
on property.
You nail the two sidewalks. The next house on each side of you.
Just do the sidewalks.
Do the sidewalks. The whole sidewalk up until the next property.
It's
give them their sidewalk done. Do both of them because you don't know who it is.
But the driveway is...
If you knew whose driveway it was, at some point you do their driveway. But since you don't know, you don't do both of them.
Don't you think it would be awkward? Like, I feel like if I was doing my neighbor Darren's driveway and he came out and like caught me partway through, would you not feel a little suspicious?
No.
I think I'd feel a little
You're just
awkward.
giving a nice, you're helping them out. I've done that.
You do the sidewalk. You're not doing the walk up to person.
I've done neighbors' houses sometimes.
You've done the walk up?
Yeah, the whole thing. I would clean the whole thing up.
Unasked.
And they don't have to deal with it.
I'm totally on board with paying it forward, but when you don't know who you're paying it forward to, I think there's some hesitation there.
That's why I say you do the sidewalk.
Just do the sidewalk. So you half-ass it for
do
both.
of them. Well, it's not. You're helping them out still. They don't have to do this.
It doesn't take long to
and you're banking a little credit there, too.
Compared to a driveway.
Yeah, but you don't know whose driveway it was. So you don't want to do both.
Yeah.
I miss shoveling snow.
Penner's Pancake says, well, you don't shovel anything.
I miss shoveling snow. That's what I said.
Oh.
I actually enjoyed doing it.
Do you ever go to your parents' house and just do
They
it?
live in a condo too.
Oh, my God.
Do you
And
ever
my brother
shovel
has
outside of-
Hey, if you
basically
want to
none.
come over and shovel my driveway, buddy, with one arm, feel free.
One arm.
Tammy would be like, what's oh, Maddie's out shovel. He misses it. Let him do it. He misses it.
Next year, maybe I'll do it once.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be great. Penner's Pancake says, someone bought my hash brown and apple juice at Tim's yesterday. You always pay it forward.
Oh, you can shovel it here for the spa
see,
boys downstairs, eh? They got to shovel in some salt.
They
down
got a snowblower.
They got
Like a
snowblower.
backpack snowblower somebody had. I saw
Well,
yesterday
now.
and they were cleaning.
I take
Yeah,
that
who's
back.
in charge of snow removal?
I have
here?
no. Well, I would be the landlord. I don't think anyone here, but they maybe pay the people
but-
downstairs because they have a company that
Yeah,
does
yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff.
public
like a
in,
management
yeah,
company.
Yeah, we don't have to deal with that.
But it'd be nice in the
But
morning.
what
if you
about
were doing-
the parking lot? Would they
That'd
do
be-
that too?
Oh, they'd have to be taken care of by
Private.
landlord somehow, whoever they pay to do that. The thing, I don't like the paying it forward at a drive-through.
Well, you
I'll say
ask
that.
what the
Why
order
not?
is. I'm not buying
Because
it.
you never know what the person behind you is going to have,
that's
right?
the game that you play.
Like it's
That's why you ask.
So you do it. So like somebody pays.
ask?
I ask.
Somebody
I say,
pays-
What did the person behind me get? Oh, they got 12 donuts, 3. Ooh, if it's
Like
coffee or
somebody
something,
pays
oh,
for my
yeah.
coffee, let's say.
Yeah.
Well, when I never do drive-through anyways. I always go in. But if somebody was paying for my coffee,
The serial killer.
if somebody's paying for my coffee and then the person behind me is paying for like a bunch of stuff, Jay Milne's behind me because he's buying stuff for the office.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting there
You
going
can't.
like, I was going to pay $3 for a coffee. Now I got to pay $50 for someone's
There's a
order.
limit.
Like there is, that's where I feel like it can be tough.
I ask. In the morning, you're getting a coffee.
And then you,
I'll
then
get
you feel
coffee.
like you're
I'm
a
not doing it.
dick
I think I
because
just,
you
I think
said
I just
no.
suck. Yeah, I suck it up and do it no matter what.
No matter what.
I take that. Now,
I'll be tailgating you coming in.
yeah, everybody's rolling.
Load them up.
I'll take 9 turkey melts.
55 cheeseburgers, 55 breakfast.
I think it puts a lot of pressure on everyone else.
There's a limit. And at this
There's
time
societal
of the day, it's just get
pressure
a
that's
coffee
being
and-
put on others that
Yeah, but it's
I don't
nice
think is
nowadays
necessary.
to see people do nice things for people. You know, pretty much lots of people are just pricks nowadays. It's nice to do something nice.
And somebody might not be able to really afford whatever's behind them, and they're now it's like, well, they got to say no, and then they feel like they're a dick.
Yeah, but what if you say, I'm going to pay for his, but you tell him he doesn't have to pay it forward. This is just a treat.
But then the pressure of society now is you have to pay forward.
$3 limit.
This text is in and says, don't do my driveway. I'll feel obligated to come out and help and do yours for the rest of my life.
It's too much. That's a limit as well. I don't agree
Plus,
with
some
it. I
people might be
respectfully
very
disagree.
particular with how their driveways are done.
That's what I'm saying.
Where
Oh,
you're
I
piling
clean
snow in the
them
wrong
nice.
place.
I clean them right.
Exactly.
No, you have to have a good relationship with your neighbor.
With your neighbor,
I
yeah.
think you do. Like when I was doing it for my parents, I was also the young guy, so like older people versus a younger
expected
person.
to,
I'm
yeah.
kind of like, yeah, I got to be able-bodied to go do that. But it's one where if it's a give and take relationship, like at times my neighbor would come and help us, do something for us, and so that's where it's like a back and forth. If you have no relationship with your neighbor, yeah, you don't
Yeah.
touch it.
What if he's your enemy and you go over and you just ruin the shoveling job? Like there's streaks everywhere, there's lines, like
weird.
The way to do that is you drive on it.
Oh,
like you turn around, you leave those.
Ultimate jerk move. Oh, by the way, Damon Bunting, for every house he lists, while it's listed with him, he shovels your driveway. I'm saying he does that. I don't know if he does, but that'd be great if he did. Bunting, if you're listening, let's get that going. He's got like 30 listings, and he has to go around every single day just shoveling everybody's driveways.
No
Takes his
drive-through
entire-
order is too much for
takes
David
his
Bunting.
entire
eh?
time, yeah. Guys, my wife doesn't want me to drive to the airport on Friday because it'll be too cold. How am I supposed to handle this? Just take an Uber and not care? Well, depending on where you're parking down at the airport anyway. I mean, and how long you're going for. I mean, we still have to drive. Even if it's minus 35, we still have to operate the city. So, I mean, if you're only going for like 1 or 2 nights at the airport, I'd drive. But if you're going longer, the cost of an Uber there and back is pretty expensive.
The question
I took an Uber back when I got back from Spengler because I came in at like 11. It was $70 to get from the airport to my house. $70.
I think one of the concerns could be if you're driving in this weather, which park and ride are you
Where you
saving?
stay, yeah,
Because
yeah.
if you're not at one where you could plug in, the
Then it's
risk
trouble.
is your
That's a good
car's
point.
not going to start.
Good point.
And that's, well, is it just better to Uber there and back?
Guys, I have no relationship with my one neighbor, but he's an older gentleman, so I do his sidewalk. That's nice.
Yeah.
I love when nice people text in. Thanks for the text, Deaky Sparks. Appreciate that. All right, let's get to our legal analyst, Eric Macramalla, brought to you by the great staff of Park Mazda, where Mitch has never shoveled a driveway in his life. Park Mazda, your dealer for life. EST legal analyst and man who was politely asked to leave A&W after he topped his naked body with creamy, spicy dill sauce, real cheddar cheese, a slice of onion, and sliced pickles while laying on a bed of freshly toasted buns.
Slathered.
Eric Macramalla.
Slathered.
I call it the Papa Burger. Eric Macramalla, a guy who just shows up to funerals of people who he doesn't know to critique the lunch spread. That's in from Gardner Minshew, the first this morning. Macramalla, what's up? You're looking so sharp today. You must be going to court.
Nice tan.
You can't say I have a nice tan nowadays. That's racist.
It's Jamaica, though.
You're in Jamaica.
You're in Jamaica. You're catching some sun.
No,
the rays, right?
I between the three of us, I totally agree. I was in Jamaica, and I got a little bit darker. But Eric / Kenny Loggins, nowadays, you can't talk about someone's skin color.
You're in
or
the sun. You're having
gender,
a
that kind of
tan.
thing. So, what I'm saying is, what you said hurt my feelings.
Okay.
And nowadays, everyone's feelings are being hurt, and I guess I'm no exception. So I would appreciate it if you didn't, state the obvious.
I will find myself.
But I am darker. I am. It was weird. Can I say this to you? When we were driving back to the airport, so we're just in Jamaica for a week, right? And it was cloudy half the time. So no, but it's okay. It's okay. Every night I had a cigar, and
What's the temperature in Jamaica when you're there during the winters?
Come on.
30 degrees Celsius.
Ooh,
it was nice.
I mean, it's a little too hot for me, but that's okay.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, it's because you're really pale.
My wheelhouse is 23 degrees.
Your wheelhouse is the greatest trampoline tournament in the world, the Spengler Cup. But so we were driving to the airport, and there was a massive billboard, and it said, "Update your HIV status. Get tested now." I'm like, what? Where was that? Really? Is it that big an issue? You think in Jamaica?
Well, maybe it must be if they're doing billboards.
I know. Billboard is pretty much communicating to everybody there what the big issues of the day are. So it was nice. But it was
It's a different world. It's a different world.
It is very much like Lisa Bonet, who's getting a divorce finally after 2 years of separation from Aquaman. After she saw Aquaman 2, she's like, it's over. She's the only person incidentally who actually saw Aquaman 2.
I actually kind of want to see Aquaman 2 for some reason. I don't know. I didn't mind the first one,
I like that. The first one was terrific,
Yeah.
But like Wonder Woman 2, the second one was weird. Like Wonder Woman 2 is a really bad, terrible, stupid movie. And then Aquaman 2, I can't imagine it's stupid, but I hasn't really
it might be
done very well.
It might be.
But hey, how was the Spengler Cup? I mean, I still don't know what it's about, but like, did you enjoy it?
It was good. I don't know if you've been listening to the show this week, but one of the things that I'm bringing back from Switzerland is I've become
bitterness. A lot of bitterness.
No. I'm a roll-on deodorant guy now. Like the deodorant that roll, it has a little roller as opposed to the regular stick.
Yeah,
it's life-changing. I my little deodorant ran out when I was over there, my travel deodorant, so I went and got one. And it's got a wheel on the top, and it's amazing, buddy. I'm a wheel deodorant guy now.
Well, so your whole entire life has changed. The quality of life has improved now as a result of the roll-on by 2.3%. Agreed?
Every single time I go over there, well, I've been there 4 times, 3 times, significant life changes. First time I started drinking tea. Second time I started wearing scarves.
Tea?
Yes. And now I'm doing roll-on deodorant. So, I mean, I'm almost European.
I'm about to say you might as well stay in Europe and not come back because you are going to fit it in Canada. Tea is a lot of work. That's the problem with tea. Coffee, you just pour it and you're done. But tea, you got a tea bag. You got to squeeze the tea bag. Your hands get wet. You decide milk or no milk. Sugar, you got to stir.
Yeah.
Milk is tea is too much work. I prefer tea over coffee every day of the week, but I don't drink it because I'm lazy. It's
too
much
busy. You're too busy for tea.
I'm too busy. That's the title of my book, by the way.
Yeah.
Too busy for tea and other stupid stories about Eric. Browner Eric. Yes.
I'm
gonna update my online Gallings bio. Eric has a tan. I should do that. You know the online bios. I should update them in real time. No one ever does that. It's the same bio for like 10 years. Why not just Eric had a great sandwich for lunch today?
Yeah, I was just going to say, Eric has 3 meetings this afternoon. He's busier than you.
Eric's having a better time than you right now, no matter what you're doing.
Hey, who is Frankenstein?
Who is Frankenstein?
Yeah.
Is this a trick question?
No, I'm curious. We were talking on the show earlier. I just want to know, describe Frankenstein to me.
The girl I dated in high school. No, Frankenstein would be what? It's a dead person who's revived, I guess.
No, see, this is the thing. This is what I learned today. That guy is not called Frankenstein. He's just the monster. Did you know this?
Oh.
Like that guy's not actually called Frankenstein, which blew my mind.
Who's Frankenstein?
The doctor.
The doctor?
The doctor who made him is Dr. Frankenstein.
Heinrich von Frankenstein.
And the green guy is just called the monster or the creature or whatever.
No.
Yes, swear to God, look it up.
Put that in the gallery.
Yeah.
I will. I don't believe you now.
Yeah, as Eric said, put it in your Gowling's bio. Eric just learned today.
Get it in there.
Eric, you should lead with this on the Spengler Cup. So is he named, people name the monster after the doctor?
No, the monster's not called Frankenstein. He's just called the creature or the monster. Like it's unbelievable. I'm 42 years old. 42 years old. I had no idea about this.
You know, I believe everything you say, and I never question your credibility. But I'm having difficulty with this one. I'm not trying to be rude or disagreeable, like many U.S. talk show hosts. Right? I just don't believe that that's the case. We've called him Frankenstein forever. Like when you say, what are you going for Halloween as? Frankenstein. Oh, a doctor. No, a monster. A monster.
That's a great point. How many people have dressed up and been like, I'm Frankenstein for Halloween? No, and you're not. Because that's not his name. You're just the creature. So we were just wondering how many people were like me and got totally stunned by this today and chalk one up for you.
How did you discover this most jolting, jarring news?
We were talking with Craig Button, and he used the term like put together like Frankenstein or something. And I said, Frankenstein really hasn't got a lot of play. Like we use the term all the time, but nobody actually watches Frankenstein. And then somebody texted in and said, or Maddie said it, the monster's not named. Was it you? Eric said it. I said the monster's not named Frankenstein. He's just the creature. I was like, what? So huge twist on the show this morning, man. Huge.
But
twist.
Maybe people should be named after their doctors. That'll put more pressure on the doctor not to screw up. Huh? Man, what happened to that nose job? And then you Dr. Joaquin Smith. Like, no, my name used to be Susie, but now I named myself after my doctor, so you all know who my doctor was. That's not a bad way to do it.
Are you intrigued, or are you sick and tired of Jimmy Kimmel versus Aaron Rodgers?
Jimmy, I love it. I love Aaron Rodgers is the most, outside of Alex Rodriguez, Aaron Rodgers is the biggest phony out there. There's nothing genuine about Aaron Rodgers. He lies about everything, and the driving force is he believes he's the smartest guy in the room. He thinks because he won a Super Bowl and is 1-5 in NFC Championship games that somehow he knows more than everybody else combined. He's the smartest guy in the room. He's an imbecile. He's so stupid. And I think we all have Aaron Rodgers fatigue. Like, enough of this guy. Like, he didn't apologize to Jimmy Kimmel yesterday on the Pat McAfee show. And so it remains open to Kimmel. He won't do it, to sue Aaron Rodgers for defamation. I mean, it's a clear case of defamation when he made the statement he did that implicated. The implication was that Jimmy Kimmel was a pedophile and on Epstein's list. That is defamation. You need not say something express to be held liable for
implying
defamation.
it. Because Rodgers yesterday tried to be like, well, that's not technically what I said, but just the linking of it could lead to that. It won't be said, but it could have.
The basic test is whether the public would believe what Aaron Rodgers said as a statement of fact. And what's the takeaway from the statement of fact that he made. And it was clear what he was implying. And then he just goes on their show yesterday and he just rambles on and on and on. And then you wait for him to blame someone and boom, it happens. He blames media. He blames big media. And it's so obtuse. And It's exhausting, but also it's amazing. It's amazing because Aaron Rodgers jumped the shark a year ago or 2 years ago, and he's just a big phony. He's a big phony baloney. He's like Frankenstein, right? Who I thought was Frankenstein, but isn't. Aaron Rodgers isn't who he thinks he is. He's an imbecile.
Macramalla, as always, buddy, we love you, and we'll catch up next week.
I love you guys. I missed you guys so much over the holidays.
Me too.
And and next time let's go to Jamaica together.
Oh,
and let's get dark together, okay? But then let's not talk about it because we can't talk about those things. I love you guys.
See you later, buddy. There you go. That is Eric Macramalla. He is our legal analyst and clearly not a fan of Aaron Rodgers. We talked about it a little bit on the show yesterday. Like, it's not like Rodgers is going to retire and just be gone, right? Like we've got 20 more years of Aaron Rodgers.
But once he's out of the football thing, then you could.
Then he can really start to share his opinions. Yeah, that's true. All right, we've got a sports update coming up, but we also need somebody to play Kind of Easy Trivia right now. If you would like to play, text Maddie at 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, and let him know that you'd like to play for a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, where they have the 6 o'clocker lager on tap up on 137th Ave. Absolutely amazing. Actually, a little bit of an update on 6 o'clocker lager, too. We'll get to that coming up here in the third hour of the show today. But if you want to play 780-218-9999 right now, let's get to a sports update for Claiborne Services. Come on.
One arm. Oilers over the Blackhawks 2-1. It's their 8th straight win. Connor McDavid's 15th of the season. Leon Draisaitl scoring his 19th to supply the offense. Stuart Skinner standing tall in net, 25 saves for the W. The 3-game road trip will continue tomorrow with a stop in Detroit. Other action last night, so the Preds drop onto Anaheim 5-3. Kraken win their 7th straight, 5-2 over the Sabres. Kings falling in overtime to Tampa 3-2. Winnipeg remain red hot. They shut out Columbus 5-0 for their 7th straight victory. Canucks topping the Islanders 5-2, and Arizona keeping pace in the West wildcard race with a 4-3 overtime win against the Bruins. 3 games in the AJHL last night. Canmore shutting out Calgary 6-0. Drumheller over Camrose 3-2, and Blackfalds defeating Bonnyville 4-1. Just the lone game on the schedule tonight. It's a big one out in Grant Fuhr Arena. Spruce Grove Saints, 10th place in the standings. They host 2nd place Sherwood Park Crusaders. Puck drop, 7 o'clock. Pair of games in the PWHL this evening. New York at home to Montreal. Toronto on the road visiting Minnesota. And in the NBA, the Lakers defeating the Raptors 132-131. Raps remain in LA to take on the Clippers tonight in one of 10 games around the association. This sports update brought to you by Claiborne Services. They are hiring now. Looking for journeyman bricklayers and all levels of apprentices. You can start a career or take your current one to the next level with their well-established mentorship program. Visit www.claiborneservices.com for more.
Remember that name. McDavid off a turnover. Walks in. Has a step shot. Looks it. No, it slips behind Holtby. And that's McDavid's 30th. Finds McDavid. The net is empty. Shoots and scores, and this one's over. Connor. McDavid. Connor. McDavid. McDavid. Remember that name. Here is Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid. Smart move. Here is beautiful. Remember that name. That name.
No limits when it comes to this guy. He's simply too fast. Think he can just fly. No limits, so why do you try?
2097. The nation in love from Gibbons to Devon. Look in the past, 10 men on the ass. Second contract, a lot of cash. Tick, 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 tack, take your time. McDavid on your team and you'll be fine. Just open your eyes and you will see it. Oiler for real, cause he has no limit.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Connor has no limit. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Connor has no limit.
Remember that name.
Oh, remember that name indeed. Connor McDavid making it look easy last night. No doubt about it on that goal. He was so smooth. I felt bad. I felt bad in between the pipes on the other end. You're like, ugh.
Poor Peter.
Didn't even have a chance there, Mr.
Poor
Mrazek.
Peter.
Didn't even have a chance. Hey, hammer the thumbs up this morning. What are we doing here?
It's 83.
Let's go 83. What is this? What is this? Amateur
It's
hour?
a little embarrassing to
If
be
you're
honest,
watching
but-
it right now, hammer the thumbs up. It helps the algorithm. It sends it out to more people, and then they can join you in the fun here with the Nielson Show.
Doesn't cost you a dime.
No, it's free. It's free. Just hit the thumbs up. It's sitting right there on YouTube. Easy enough. If you're listening on tune, hop over to YouTube. Give us a little thumbs up. Right? That'd be nice. Why not? We'll get to the Draisaitl goal song at some point here in the hour as well. It is the Nielsen Show. We are coming to you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio. And if you're watching, you can see. If you're listening, we'll describe them to you. But they've got the Oilers meal, which is out now, and they are doing the Hyman Cup right now. Here's
got the
Hyman.
full lineup
So you
here,
got
but-
the Hyman Cup. It looks like a Heritage Classic jersey, but it's got Hyman and 18 on the back. You can only get these at Popeyes. It's for a limited time only, and they are rotating through the players. So you get the chance to get Hyman for like less than 2 weeks. So you want to make sure you hop on this right away. You can't go and get all four right now. You have to wait. Nuge won't be available until Valentine's Day. It goes Hyman, and then I think, let me just double check on this. Which one goes?
Ekholm Nurse?
Is it Nurse Ekholm or is it Ekholm Nurse?
Yeah.
I feel like it's Nurse and then Ekholm. Yeah, it is. Nurse will be available from January 21st, January 20th to February 1st. Then Ekholm from February 2nd to the 13th. And then the Nuge, because you love them, February 14th to the 25th. So it's like 11 days you have a chance to get it. You go to Popeyes, pick up the Oilers meal. In-store, $16.99, classic chicken sandwich, 6-piece nugs, regular Cajun fries, medium pop dipping sauce, and the collector's cup. Collect all four of them at Popeyes. And text us anytime, 780-218-9999 in the Paris Jewelers inbox if you're looking for something for Valentine's Day for your husband or wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or whoever you're hooking up with right now. Find it at PJ's at Paris Jewelers. They will look after you. Who's playing kind of easy trivia today, Maddie? What do we got?
We've got Alex on the line ready to play.
Alex is going to play today. Hey, we'll get to it in a second. Let's play with Alex. Brought to you by Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever in the Hampton Inn on the corner of 137th Ave and Mark Messier Trail. Try the sirloin bites, and I guess these chicken. The chicken appetizer is unreal
okay.
too. Unreal too.
All right.
That's what people have been saying. I could get my hands on some of those. Alex, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right, I'll start the ticker after I read the first question. Good luck. You need 3 of 5 correct to win the gift certificate to Mr. Mike's. Here we go. Which 2 players scored for the Edmonton Oilers last night?
McDavid and Draisaitl.
What position does Peter Mrazek play?
Goaltender.
What sport does Canadian R.J. Barrett play?
Basketball.
Did R.J. Barrett go to Duke University or Medicine Hat College?
Duke University.
Which team won the Super Bowl last season? You got it. You're good.
Sergio Ramos gets a nipple erection. Oh, is that dirty? This is not just a dream, it's a wet dream of orgasmic proportions. Oh, is that dirty?
Frustration sets in and the emotion goes out, and then you just start playing by yourself.
Oh, is that dirty?
You cannot come to my house. No, not today. You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Clubby Loop provided by Alex this morning. Went 4 for 4. Didn't have time to get the 5th one in, but he is off to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. Like we said, the casualest place ever. Brand new location. It's been there for a bit. out in Fort Sask as well. So if you're in Fort Sask, you don't have to make the trip into town to get your hands on. You know where else you can do in Fort Sask? You can stay at a hotel.
Well, what's it attached to? A hotel.
Yeah.
It's,
the one up in, Beaumont, you're killing us, man. That just blows my mind. No, I was going to say Maddie, you were listening on Monday when Brendan blew it.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Even with one arm, he's texting in the disappointment.
It was just like, because it was just bad. Like, not knowing who, like, you knew that the Oilers played on Saturday. You watched it because you knew Hyman got the hat trick and stuff, but you didn't know who they played. Like, right off the bat, it was rough. And then couldn't say which, like, there's two teams in LA. It's not hard to pick an NBA team. Like, you don't have to like the NBA to not know Clippers or Lakers.
Yeah.
And also, when he answered Josh Allen for QB, it was QB. It was QB? Like, he wasn't sure that Josh Allen was a QB even, and it's just
tough performance.
Brandon on Monday with kind of easy trivia.
This is completely BS. This is shame.
Right? It was completely BS. This is shame. It was also crap.
It's a complete crap.
Yeah. We got some nice new clips for the vault here today from the head coach of the Toronto Raptors last night. I like LeBron kind of grinding the gears a little bit more last night. They asked about it. He said, well, we were fouled and they weren't.
Clever play.
Well played, LBJ. Well played. The shot, the free throw discrepancy in the fourth quarter last night, though, was absolutely ridiculous. Okay, Super Bowl party. I want to quickly hit this. We're having our Super Bowl party. It'll be on the day of the Super Bowl at Century Casino.
They call
Sports
it
Bar
the big
Lounge.
game.
For the big game. The big game. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We're looking forward to it. You can join us. We want to jam this place for the big game.
Renee will be hosting.
We might not start the show until 7:00 that morning. We'll see how it goes. Could be a little. Yes. What do you think, Mr.
Well, I'm glad we have a meeting today.
Yeah, it's not on the agenda.
I think we add it now to the agenda. Is that the first EST stat?
Or you
the
said
whole
also-
day?
No, or at least the morning show. Like, we don't start till
We had the idea of
we have a
the
guest at
hangout.
7.
Hangout.
So I mean,
we go in.
Oh, I don't know, boys.
We didn't have a guest for the week we were off for Christmas.
But doesn't a part of you want to kind of break down the game a little bit?
Don't you want to have a great time at Century
I
Casino?
do want to have a great time.
And then not
But we
have
all
to roll
convene.
in until 9 o'clock, and me, you, Tommy, and
we all just
Lieutenant
go on
Eric
and hang out?
go on, and we just do it
Isn't
there.
that something?
Man, that's an interesting
It's a
idea.
play.
It's an interesting idea. I don't know. Where do we come out on this? This
Then,
is like
like,
one of these things where, like,
It is the big game.
We'll start the trend of the day after these big games, there shouldn't be work.
Because he used to take the Monday off AFC NFC Championship weekend. That was a
Absolutely.
holiday for you.
well, that's because I
Personal
wasn't
holiday.
even home by the time the show started.
But that's two points.
But like the world wants the Super Bowl like the Monday after to be off anyways.
And this close to
we
renting
could
a room.
start the trend
Start
for
the
the world
movement. Start the
where
movement.
it's at least work day should start later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Americans do. They all do that, don't they, after their...
All right, what say you? So you're listening, and the morning after the Super Bowl, we aren't on the air until 9 o'clock.
Like here's a 3-hour hangout starting at 8.
Yeah, so you got to dress
Oh,
it up.
wow.
You gotta
So we
dress
take
it up.
away 2 hours. We do a hangout starting
Well, I
at
got
8.
more time for that.
We could still squeeze in things like kind of easy trivia and all of that, so we could still get some of those things in throughout the hangout.
HR Daddy texts in.
Uh-oh.
He says, no, it's a work day. What HR Daddy doesn't know is that I'm the CEO of this bitch. And if we don't want to start until 8 o'clock on the Monday after Super Bowl, then we'll start at 8 o'clock.
Power struggle here.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. That's the big game here.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Where do we come out of this? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999.
I'm not here till the hangout anyway, so I'm good. If
day off
you
after the
guys
Super
want to
Bowl.
come in early, have fun.
Texter says it's the softest thing they've ever heard.
Guys, do the Super Bowl and then pull a Tommy and just show up whenever you feel like it. Guys, isn't the morning after the Super Bowl the reason you have a practicum student? That's in from the Shutterbug.
Great
Hey,
point.
hey, Zach, just a heads up. Yeah, you're doing the show tomorrow.
You got this thing.
By yourself with no Trev, no op or anything.
No.
Just go in and make sure everything's on at 6 o'clock and sit there.
Talk about the big game.
Zach to come. Man, that kid they'd be rattled. He'd be rattled.
We tell him Sunday night.
Yeah.
A text at 9 o'clock p.m.
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. We'll see how this plays out. Anyway, the reason I wanted to bring it up, join us for the big game. We'll be at Century Casino. Renee will be there.
hosting.
All your regulars
Best
will be there.
host.
It's going to be a
The
great
best
time.
host,
The
yeah.
whole EST crew is going to be there. It's going to be awesome.
Wheels is already confirmed.
Wheels is going to be there.
Gotta
The
bring
man
my
in the
text of the day,
chair.
yep.
So that's great. You know what else is going to be there? Cans of the 6 o'clocker lager. We couldn't get it on tap. Labatt, I guess, owns the taps there. But they are going to bring in the cans for the Super Bowl party. And if they sell well at the Super Bowl party, they're going to keep them around. So let's do it. Let's get the Super Bowl party. Century Casino, Fort Road. Join us. We'll be crushing 6 o'clocker loggers at the casino and watching the game.
Hit up the tables, maybe the one-armed bandits, eh? Yeah. Feeling lucky?
Oh, I might
come on, eh?
hit the tables with a
You're
bunch of
there.
nasties. It'll be a great time.
Yeah.
We could have an entire crew at a roulette table. All of us.
Big Uke says could call it the hangover hangout.
So it's branded.
It writes itself here, yeah.
Right.
By Mott's Clamato Caesar.
Guys, I need you guys to start the Nielsen show at least 7 that day because I'm not able to listen past 8:30, and I hate to miss the Nielsen show. That'd be the worst thing in my life. That's it from Jordy Mack. This is the same load management case that people use for MJ/LBJ GOAT
Now we're
conversation.
getting...
Guys, just pull a Jim Rome and play the best of the week before. Just record highlights. We can play for 2 hours that morning coming in. I don't know. We'll see. It's an interesting discussion. I just wanted to say that we're going to have our beer there, which will be a lot of fun. So make plans to join us. Century Casino, big game Sunday. We'll be there watching the Detroit Lions. Look, man, can you imagine me? Can you imagine me?
Detroit
The
and Cleveland.
Lions are playing in the
Lions
Super
and
Bowl?
Browns.
All right, let's get into 3 questions too many today. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment?
3 questions too many brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, who has already booked a hotel room for the big game. Park Mazda, your dealer for life. Can't do that in Beaumont.
We could do the show that morning from the hotel.
I know.
At the casino.
Why not? Have a room. It's all inclusive there. You got it all.
Could be a
The
possibility.
glitz, the glamour, the lodging.
Do you have a Twitter account?
It's at Lieutenant_Eric. You can follow me on Twitter and Edmonton Sports Talk at YEG Sports Talk. Give us a follow.
Put up the big first shot there yesterday.
If you missed that,
clutch.
1 in a million, Doc.
Clutch.
That's what they say.
You would have never thought.
No.
You never thought that I'd hit it on the first try. All right, let's get into it. Question number 1. Boys, what's going on with Evander Kane, and how important is it that the Oilers get him going?
Well, he's been sent down to the doldrums of the third line, and to get him going, you need to elevate him to make him happy, right?
I mean, or he needs to get in a fight, kick somebody's ass, and get fired up for a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that could probably
be the Bash brother or whatever. He'll be fine, right?
I wonder how much longer Kane plays on the third line before you hear some rumblings that he's not happy he's on the third line.
Yeah, well,
he played 13 minutes last night. He didn't look overly engaged. Took a bad penalty along the board.
Do you subscribe to an injury theory, as some people in the nasty chat may be pointing out a
but
core
if
issue?
if it's an injury,
everybody's hurt, right?
I always look at it, and whenever anybody struggles, people go, it's an injury.
Yeah.
I mean, give him a couple games off then.
Yeah, no, this is
like
what I'm
if this is something that could heal,
Mark
if he's hurt, then give him a couple games off. You're playing him 13 minutes a night on the third line. Give him the 10 minutes to Gagne. Gagne's actually been more offensively productive since December 1st in the games he's played than the games that Kane's played in. So I think it's very important to have him at the top of his game come playoff time. Or even down the stretch, because they're going to be battling for playoff position. But they've won 8 games in a row with him being where he is. So is it that important that you have to get him going, or do you just like with the way the team's going right now? And if Evander Kane can just chip in once in a while and play third, but that's not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be playing alongside Leon Draisaitl.
But look, you have the McLeods of the world and the Fogle. I mean, there's a second part to that where these guys also have taken up the mantle or the torch, right?
What say you on this one? 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or hit us up in the nasty chat as well. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure how concerned you need to be about that at this point. At this point. Yeah. I mean, they're cruising. Yeah. If they lose 3 or 4 in a row or something, you go, okay, we got to get Evander King going. But right now, I mean, the team's winning.
He'll go on a heater early March.
I could see that. I could see him getting back up into the top 6. Look, the Oilers' bottom 6, they're not hurting the team significantly. Or they're not hurting the team, but at the same time, you still need an upgrade in there somewhere. You need a third-line center. Then you can then if you can get a third-line center that's an upgrade on Ryan and Hamblin, which shouldn't be too hard to do, then maybe you feel a little bit more comfortable while playing Kane on that line because you got somebody you can work with a little bit. Or, you can leave McLeod on the wing, you can move Kang up, you can bring Fogle down. I mean, there's options, but they got to address at least one bottom 6 forward position, I would think. Question number 2. If you guys were running the Raptors right now, would you trade Siakam prior to the deadline?
Well,
Now, it's already rumored that he's available here prior to the deadline, so it's not like we're coming out of nowhere.
I'd
with
have
this
to see the kind of like who are the suitors, what's the potential and I know that's kind of ditching the question. No.
I would pull the trigger. Like some of the return that you're seeing suggested for Pascal Siakam is pretty darn significant. He's 29. Now, there's still some good years there for Siakam, for sure. But his best years aren't still to come. How old is Scotty Barnes? Because I looked on the new guys last night. RJ Barrett's 23. Quickly's 24. Scotty Barnes is like, what, 20? 21? 22? So he just turned 22? Yeah. So you got the core of that group now with those 3 guys, 22, 23, 24. Siakam's almost 30 years old. If you can flip Siakam for like a first-round pick, a second-round pick, and another roster player who's recently a high draft pick that is 22, 23, 24 years old, I like the idea of building that group together.
The return, you're moving forward. I'll keep the elder statesman. You can't have all kids.
Naz26 says the Raptors are going to trade him. He just isn't worth the money that he'll want in re-signing. I think that's a full-blown opportunity to get something of major significance for Siakam that helps you with the rebuild and then that course together for a long time again. So what do you think? 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. As Jack says, the Raptors are building around Scotty Barnes. It's nice to see, and that's what they're like. Bringing in RJ Barrett was great last night. Quickly was awesome last night. He's an absolute Lakers killer.
What about everybody that bought a Pascal Siakam jersey? What do you say to them?
You just put some tape over the back and turn it in. Maybe acquire somebody whose last name ends in AM, and then you can just put half of tape over top of it, or you just chat with the Cooks and boys at Pro-Am, and they'll get that taken care of.
There you go.
Jack was just at the Packers game. I emailed him last night about some stuff. And he goes, I just got back. And I said, were you on vacation? And he just sent me a picture of him having a beer at the Packers game. I'm like, you sly dog. Lucky guy. Lucky guy. All right, question number 3, which is rolled in after yesterday's discussion. Boys, did you spend any time yesterday diving into the captain's draft that you were discussing? Did you get into
like
this
on
at
my
all
own?
yesterday? Yeah,
like
on your own.
It's
still a few weeks away, so we don't have to start prepping for it just yet. But
I think the conversation we had yesterday certainly kind of it broke the brain open, and you see what could be. Obviously, Captain Morgan and Saku Koivu were points of interest for yourself. I do when drafts happen, we get the idea. Okay, that's fine. I need to see the categories before before the gears start going and knowing how to. Okay,
because there'll be sports captains, but then there will be other captains. So a real mix here.
Yeah. So how you grade them and how you import. So yeah, it's kind of you're drumming it about, but until I kind of see those, then I really get going into it.
It just so happens to be the case that we do have the host of Nielsen Show Drafts with us here today.
The host, yes.
Maddie, your thoughts on this hybrid captains draft where we're drafting sports captains and then like Captain Kirk and Captain America and Captain Crunch and Captain Planet and all those good captains. What do you think?
Nah, I don't really have anything.
Any suggestions on categories maybe?
Nah, as the host, I'm there to just get you guys into it and not give my
You're the
thoughts.
Brian Williams of the
I'll give you the time. I'll give you the weather. I'll introduce you guys. It's not my position.
Intrigued by it a
it's
little
not
bit.
my
though.
place.
Intrigued by it a
to
little
get
bit.
involved. To get involved. So
I think in this draft probably have to move earlier on the non-sports captains.
I have one thought actually. So I didn't. No,
I knew it.
No, as you guys, because I was driving yesterday,
It
to
took
talking
2
about
seconds.
it. It was you guys want to do sports and non-sports with this.
Yes.
Which is at the top, sports or non-sports? Because I think Eric said he's got to take Oiler captain like Messier or something
would you not?
first. But is that good if it's the second half of the order? Where's that? Like it's
so much of these drafts come.
What do you go
Top of the marquee.
sports or do you go non-sports first? And that's going to be a very important decision to be decided by whoever has to get involved with that one.
You said it.
Well, that'll be a discussion that we have with amongst ourselves and with Commissioner Phillips.
Commissioner Phillips, that just sounds. It sounds like it was meant to be.
It sounds really nice.
The right fit.
It sounds really nice. Probably done some of the best commissioner work we've ever had.
Debatable, but yeah, I'd agree with you.
Greg Wyshynski is going to be by. We'll get Greg's thoughts on a couple of different things. We asked Craig Button earlier.
Well, him or weekly rankings of power? What's going to be first? Just so I know.
Oh, let's do weekly rankings of power. Yeah, we'll do weekly rankings.
Okay, just so I know when to call him.
Yeah. Call him. Yeah, call him in like 5 minutes. All right, weekly rankings of power. Lieutenant Eric, you said you were working on these EST resolutions.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're just back this week, obviously dealing with certain things in our own lives, and I think it's right to say, I mean, it's like, oh, you can't wish people Happy New Year. No, we can this week. We had guests in the hangout yesterday. You wished Reed well. Hey, Happy New Year.
I did say Reed. That's the first time I saw him.
So we're here now. It's January 10th, 2024. I will go over the weekly rankings of power, Edmonton Sports Talk, New Year's resolutions. This can be, I mean, maybe call it a goal setting, if you will.
Okay,
You know, and then maybe we could bring a few of these up in the meeting later this afternoon.
Let's see where this list goes, because I'm just going to blindly say I want to accomplish all of them.
Well, and sure, that's kind of the goal, but some might be a little more out of reach than others. But if you're ready, I will.
I'm ready to go, man. Let's do it. Number 10.
A new sign for the studio or building.
Oh, that's a good idea.
No offense to Tom, and what he did out here was wildly creative.
It's lasted for months.
Oh, and it's dazzling to the eye, and you walk, you know where you're going. I mean, that little, however the dimensions of it, it's just a piece of paper with our logo on it, crumpled up almost.
It's a
and then
piece of paper from our Nasty Bash that he cut off the banner I made.
Yes, off the banner, you're right.
Now, we do have the big one. Norman at Combine said he'll come by and hang it for us.
Yes,
made it for
but
us.
that'd be in, like, we can't do it in the hallway. We need
That
something.
could fit right there in the corner, couldn't it?
It could, but the issue with it, like with the white wall behind it, it does look a little off.
I've ordered some metal signs in the past for the crack pack back at home, and they're relatively reasonably priced. I was thinking of getting one made. It's just like a really thin metal.
Yeah.
You can just sort of tack it on. I was going to get one for the studio, for the hangout studio. It's on my list of things to do.
We tried putting there. We even thought about like what if it was a little off the wall, how it would look, and it just that spot that we have here. It's weird
not good
lighting
for that sign, 'cause that's a cool sign.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
poor lighting or something. And it almost wouldn't be. It's not worthy of that sign.
But I also said studio/building, and I'm thinking
outside.
outside. The big.
Well, that's in progress.
The spinner, you know.
I think
landlord's been talking about
Yeah.
Getting
Big
like an
lights.
Edmonton Sports Talk sign on the outside of the building.
Lights and everything.
Yeah, and then Zacticum goes out there and spins a wheel in a gorilla
Or you
costume.
put like the theater. You put up the letters, you know, like coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, that'd be
you know,
cool,
he's putting
actually.
all the-
All right, so that's a nice one. Let's do that. Check
I
mark
got
on that
gold
one.
to kind of
Number 9.
One of us getting the full treatment downstairs. We've still not. Nobody has ever.
I would love to.
No, Ivan's come. Ivan was it? He came
Victor.
up. Victor. Pardon me. Victor came up for the thing. His kid's been up here. They've been
What's
up
the
here.
kid's name again?
Victor Jr.
See, but this is. But we need to.
I
We
gotta
need
remember
to
the
be
kid's
more.
name. He was a lovely kid.
Exactly, but we need to know them more and get to know them more. And I just again, it's January already, and not one of us. Maybe that's a practicum Zach duty that you go down there. And again, just to check out the confines. What do you got? Because they've been up here. They
They said they had like 3 full spas downstairs.
But they've shown
he
interest
brought
in
up
us.
a bottle.
They
It
gave
was
us a nice
classic.
gift.
They've shown interest in
Christmas.
us. So I just think
I want to take
paying
that
back-
bottle downstairs, drink it in the spa.
Sure. But I just like I'm curious, and I'd like
Leo
to,
was the kid's name.
Leo, okay. Leo and Victor.
Yeah.
Love them. Great people. But I'd like to go. Just show me what you got. Give one, please. Whatever that
I'm
entails.
here for a spawing.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, I'd like that. You know what? I would say in the next year that happens.
One of us.
One of us. That'll
I
happen.
think there's going to be more than one of us.
Well, sure.
Maybe
I'll fall on the sword. I
we
don't
start
care.
holding our meetings in the spa.
Well, there's that sauna where like it is for a group of people, right?
That's- you
So
know,
we could
meetings.
book out one
Yeah,
of
shop,
those,
yeah.
and
All right. Okay, that's 2 pretty reasonable resolutions. Number 8.
Ale of the North.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, this is
That would be the follow-up to the 6
maybe a
o'clock
little higher
lager.
on the list. You could argue, but
I would think by the next fall there's an ale of the North that is being concocted somewhere.
it's. I love the ale and the name itself. Like we're
just-
kind of working
it's
backwards
too
here. We got
good,
the name.
yeah.
Now we got to find the beer.
Yeah. All right, number 7.
Get Practum Zach a full-time gig. That's his goal.
Wow, he's only been here for 2 days, Rick.
No, I know, but look,
I mean-
that should be the goal of every, And
Yeah, I know,
it
it's
should be
every
his-
Practum kid should come in with the feeling of they don't like at the end of 4 months they're going to have to keep me no matter
Well, he
what.
better not suck.
Now, this ain't on you boys you have to give him a job. This
No.
is more of a challenge personally to him and sort of a
Go
a
get
selfish-
that job.
Go get that. Yeah,
Go
get
get that job.
Where we have to sit down after and be like, we got to make the money work somehow.
Sit down. Oh, that's what he's
Like,
trying to force us
That's
to do.
that's what you should
Yeah.
do as any practicum.
Well, it's pretty good because we sit down with him and go, listen, we have very little. Do you want very little? And he'll say, yes, I do want very little. And then he's got a job. And that's how that's going to work.
Sounds
HR
familiar.
Daddy, keep your text to yourself. We'll worry about this one. No, but I mean, that would be, how many guys came to the old place at 1260, did their practicum and got a gig? You did? Maddie, were you on practicum?
Technically through there, I was through Gregor, not the actual station.
Okay, yeah.
And then I got a job with the station. Eric did. Uremchuk sort of did. He didn't get it immediately. It was a few months
What about
later we
Nanso?
got him. Hernan stuck around.
Was CG practicum back in the day?
Oh, I don't
Now
know.
we're going back.
I don't know. That was because that was before my time, so I don't
Yeah.
know. Majot stuck around.
Pretty good run.
Oh, we had a good list.
That's a pretty good group. That's like more than 50% of the staff.
Well, there's one more, I think.
What about Hallie?
I don't think he was practicum.
Oh, he wasn't?
Oh, well, he did different schooling. I can't remember if he did a
Oh,
practicum
okay.
at 1260.
Yeah,
or
he
just
did
signed
that.
it. He did it the one that.
The now defunct.
Yeah, the lady took the money and ran, and she got
Worldwide School of
arrested in like
Broadcasting,
Georgia and
yeah.
stuff.
Oh, he went to that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I always respect that.
We had a few.
Swindling, yeah.
We had a few.
All right, so, I mean, I'm put a half check mark on that.
Sure, I mean,
It could be out there. Got to earn it.
It's number 7.
Yeah. All right, number 6.
Grey Cup Vancouver 2024 trip.
Done. Check mark.
Hey,
We're going to
now.
Grey Cup.
Yeah.
For sure. Number 5.
The Ionic and LTE Soccer Pod. Perhaps one episode per year. Very niche sport. Nobody really cares
One
about it.
episode per year.
I love
like
that.
the idea.
This is not
You
for
know-
anybody else.
you know
This
what
is
we
a
do?
selfish-
The annual soccer podcast.
It's a selfish exercise for you and I just
You know
to
what we
get
could
out.
do with that? If you want, if Canada gets the Copa America, we could just do a Copa America pod on Canada.
Whatever.
3 or 4
And again,
that's
this
it.
is just
That's all
for
we
you
need.
and I to get it out of our systems.
We'll call it
Nobody
Talking
needs-
Sock.
You already got it saved. One episode a year.
It's gonna be like 6 hours long.
don't wanna flood you.
Gotta
We don't wanna
recap
flood you here, yeah.
everything.
I like that one. The kid, that's good. All right, number 4.
The reinstatement of Commissioner Matthew Iwanek to
Oh,
the
not
Edmonton
happening.
Sports Talk Draft. Full reinstatement. Full
There's
reinstatement.
the first resolution.
He's
It's not
always
gonna happen.
believed in full
I'm on the
reinstatement.
campaign. I will lead it.
There was
Maddie.
no reinstatement.
He was in charge.
Well,
he was
not yet.
fully in support of full reinstatement.
100%.
But I wasn't suspended or anything.
But it's not.
It
You
made
haven't
no
been reinstated
sense.
yet. I want you to get reinstated. That's the goal here.
Next one.
Number 3.
EST golf tournament. That'll get you back in good graces here, Maddie. Right? That's
Check.
yeah.
Number 2.
EST Grand Prix. I've always
Check.
been maintaining this at the
You
mall.
wanna know
We
what's
need to
funny?
do that.
Definitely want to do
It's
that.
on my board.
The Grand
Yeah,
Prix.
it's on,
I showed
it's
him
on
yesterday.
CO's board. Yeah.
It's on my board.
It's on
for
the board.
things to
Grand
do this year.
We looked at it yesterday. Said Grand Prix.
It's over
that's a
there.
good
Great
idea.
idea.
Yeah, I'm on it. I remember what you say.
Some cars around, baby.
Yeah, get Gager out there. That'll be fun. All right, number 1.
The number 1 in the Edmonton Sports Talk New Year's resolutions for 2024, breaking ground on the first ever hotel motel lounge in the city of Beaumont. Somebody suggested even a brewery. Hey, partner with
Actually, I
Alley
like
Cat.
that idea.
Combine
As
them
the
all.
6 o'clocker lager
Right?
continues to grow, brewery/hotel.
How could they say no?
I mean, I'm not going to say it's completely unrealistic to think we could get a Mr. Mike's up in there.
Keep building this thing. Yeah.
I feel like we could probably
have them all.
We could probably make that work.
No neon signs
as well.
Can you send me that? Your whole 10?
Oh, absolutely.
Please, thank
Are
you.
you gonna put it on the board?
I'll print out
I'm
a
going to
copy for
save
the
it.
meeting.
I'm going
I'll
to
print
save
out-
it so that we can see what we...
Us launching a hotel / brewery is probably not a year 2 thing, boys.
I will say this. It's more likely that will happen than I'm back on the draft as commish.
Whoa, listen to this guy. Unbelievable. All right, let's get to Greg Wyshynski, brought to you by Metal Supermarkets, your convenience stores for metal. Any metal, cut to size, ready fast. You can go on their website and just order all the metals, all the different shapes and sizes. It's wild. MetalSupermarkets.com, 2 Edmonton locations, West End and South Side. Greg Wyshynski pops by. He would probably know the Frankenstein thing, I would think.
Don't just...
Wyshynski, how you doing today, buddy?
What's the Frankenstein thing?
Okay, so describe Frankenstein to me.
Frankenstein is a reanimated corpse with the brain of a murderer or something implanted in it, and it was created and revived by a Dr. Frankenstein. So it's not the monster is not Frankenstein.
Oh, okay, good.
Frankenstein's monster.
All right, yes, okay.
Smart
We were
man.
wondering. I was like, yeah, because Craig Button today on the show, we were talking about Frankenstein came up, and I did not know that the monster, the creature, was not named Frankenstein. So we've been asking everybody today if they knew that, and I just thought my whole life that the monster was called Frankenstein.
No, the book is Frankenstein. It's about the Dr. Frankenstein, but it's become cultural shorthand for the better part of a century to call the monster Frankenstein and to say that, anything that's put together with a bunch of different parts is a Frankenstein. So
yes,
I'm fine with it. I think he's just known as like the monster in most popular fiction, but the creature, yeah. So it's fine. Godzilla, that's his confirmation name. He grew up Catholic, Godzilla. So I don't know what his real name is, but his confirmation name was Godzilla.
Okay, Greg Wyshynski with us. I just remembered this because I saw you tweet it before Christmas, and I wanted to talk about when we had you on. And now that we're talking about pop culture stuff, I saw you giving the movie Blackberry a bunch of love online, and I have to say, I absolutely love that movie as well. I think it should be in the mix for all the awards.
The Blackberry?
Blackberry.
Yeah,
Was it not a great
alert,
movie, Greg? It was a great movie.
It was a great movie with an incredible performance by Glenn Howerton as Jim Balsillie. Every hockey fan should obviously see it for the few scenes in which Balsillie is taking on the NHL. But more to the point, though, like there's been so many movies in that subgenre of, angry white guys in startup companies kind of thing. Like we had the WeWork movie, and we had the Dumb Money, like all this other stuff in that sort of subgenre that sort of spun off ever since The Social Network hit. And of that sort of kind of movie, and I would include Air in that genre too, like Blackberry was probably the best version of it, not only for the story that it told, but for the performances. And I was really happy for Jay Baruchel, who, obviously is very, very hockey adjacent, and I thought did a really good job in that flick too. Yeah, it's great, and it's tight, it's good, it tells a good story, and it has at least one extremely awards-worthy performance that for some reason got overlooked. Probably Canadian bias, but
he was awesome though.
Theory.
He was awesome as Balsillie. I thought he did an absolutely phenomenal job. What did you think of the guy who played Gary Bettman?
The funniest thing about those scenes, the guy who did Bettman was really good, but the funniest thing about those scenes was not only was Balsillie in a meeting with the biggest, most important people in like around the NHL, but there was a woman in the room and she spoke. So I thought that was maybe some creative license right there for those meetings.
Greg Wyshynski with us from ESPN. We've got lots to discuss around the world of the National Hockey League. I'm sorry to everybody I got sidetracked there. I want to talk to them about Blackberry for like a month, so I'm glad we managed to get that fit in here. Let's start with the Oilers and the Chicago Blackhawks last night. The Oilers did not play well, just 15 shots on goal. They get the win. The thing that most people were talking about was the offside call on the goal that was called back for Zach Hyman with Draisaitl being at the blue line there. And they looked at it, forever, Greg. What were your thoughts on the ruling there and offside challenges and the offside ruling in general?
Well, I thought Connor, spelled it out pretty good in his post-game comments, but then eventually got to the crux of the matter, which is the possession question on that play in particular, which is, I think, a lot of the struggle on that review. But look, I mean, it was an overcorrection from the moment that they started to review offside situations. We all remember it was the Matt Duchene thing where he's a country mile
offside.
That sparked. Yeah, and they just didn't want to be embarrassed, so they included it in the review thing. And I think it's helped in some cases when the offside has been egregious, but it's definitely hurt in some cases where they have to define it down to the pixel to see if somebody was onside or offside. And frankly, they don't have the technology to do that. It's the same thing as puck over the line reviews in some cases, where I just don't think they've got the camera technology to really definitively say one way or another. So I'm not a fan of it. I think that the NHL, it's gotten better, obviously, as offense has increased, but taking goals off the boards is not something that the NHL should want to do. And the other thing about the offside review is that, in a lot of cases, it doesn't necessarily affect the rest of the play. I know that we run into the same problem with the puck hitting a high stick or situations where a whistle should have blown, and that's a debate to be had about those calls too. I mean, the reason they exist is because of things that happened in the Blues playoff run, I think. But in the case of offside, there's so many situations where the zone entry is bad, but then the play continues for another 25 seconds. And maybe it should have been whistled at the line, but then there's ample time for the defensive team to try to clear the zone.
We had some people suggesting to us last night that they have to put some sort of time limit on the review. I also had somebody say, they should have to review it at full speed, just like you would have made the call at full speed. I mean, do you see could there be any changes? Like, what if you just said, listen, you got 3 minutes. If you can't make the determination in 3 minutes, call on the ice stands. Like, could you do something like that?
No, I just think you get rid of it. I think.
Yeah, okay, I agree with you on that. I would also get rid of it. Yes,
but the problem is that they've let the genie out of the bottle, and you can't stuff it back in, because now if you get rid of it and there's a critical play in the playoffs that's offside, then it becomes a whole thing of you guys got rid of the mechanism to ensure the integrity of the playoffs, and look what happened. I don't know if there's a way to get everybody on the same page to say, okay, we're okay with human error again, when you now have this quote unquote definitive way to make sure that a play is onside. So they've kind of dug their own graves here. I don't know if you can go back after you've brought something to the level of this kind of scrutiny, because now you're begging for something to happen, for someone to make a mistake on the ice, like a linesman, and for somebody to say, well, the travesty of this team losing the cup on this play is because they got rid of video review.
Greg, you're a wrestling fan yourself. Which stable do you reside in, the Gauthier camp or the Flyers camp?
The Gauthier camp, because I came from a union house and I'm a players guy. It's mostly why. I think this is another example of the era of player empowerment in the NHL. I mean, we've seen other NCAA guys pull this same trick. Adam Fox maybe being the most prominent one in recent years of saying, I don't want to play for the team that drafted me, and I'm going to kind of orchestrate things to get to the team I really want to play for. I don't think the Ducks were probably the top of Gauthier's list, but they were definitely on his list as far as teams with whom he would sign. And, if you had that kind of flex and you had that kind of leverage, that's fine. You have every right to do what he did, just like the Flyers had every right to say no, but they didn't. So I'm fine with what the kid did. I'm all for player empowerment. I know it's scary for hockey fans to think that maybe the league is going to look a little bit more like the NBA one day, insofar as the amount of power the players have. But balance that out with the last century of them having absolutely no power, and maybe we can frame it that way. As far as the Flyers go, it's a loss. I mean, it's a true loss. I mean, he's the second best prospect in their system. It's a new regime with Keith Jones and Danny Briere. They're trying to instill confidence in fans. They're trying to build up this franchise back to being a cup contender. And they just had a prospect piece out. And it was a prospect, by the way, that Briere didn't draft. So he wasn't there for the selection, but he was there for the departure. And that's a really bad look for a GM still trying to find his footing in this league.
Greg Wyshynski with us from ESPN, brought to you by Metal Supermarkets. I see that some of your ESPN coworkers have dropped their mid-season grades, and the Edmonton Oilers get a B. And considering the way the first part of the season went, I think they got to be pretty happy with that B grade, don't they, Greg?
Yeah. Like if you had told me back in like October that the Oilers were going to get a B, I'd be like, oh, so it's like when you're in school back when they gave written report cards and you turned the D into a B, is it that kind of thing? You just drew a little line in the middle to fake it. But no, man, like they've recovered nicely, and you know, as we talked about on this show many times, I had the utmost faith that they would figure it out, and they have figured it out. They've gotten enough defense and goaltending to back up incredible offensive performances from Connor and Leon and Hyman and the rest, and away they go. The way the West is shaking out, as I was kind of doing a thing tomorrow on bold predictions for the second half of the season, it's kind of amazing to think that we might have only one playoff spot open right now. Like I don't think.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
The top three in the top three in the Central probably isn't going to change. The top three in the Pacific could change, but only if it's because the Oilers have moved ahead of the other three playoff teams that are going to be in that division. I mean, you might have now, Nashville and Arizona and a few other teams, Seattle, all kind of vying for one open wild card spot because everybody else, barring injury or an unforeseen thing, looks pretty cemented into their spots right now.
Greg, before we let you go, man, actually, I wanted your opinion on this one, too, because we asked Craig Button a little bit earlier on today. Winnipeg Jets or Vancouver Canucks? Who do you like more on maybe taking a legit run here?
Vancouver, because I still think that they're top to bottom a really, really good team. And they obviously are one of the teams in the West that can match the goaltending of the Winnipeg Jets. The only issue with Vancouver insofar as making a run at it this year is health. I mean, the biggest statistic on that team is the number of games played by Brock Besser, the number of games played by Elias Pettersson and by Thatcher Demko. I mean, like, the bottom line is that if anybody from that core is lost for a significant amount of time, their fortunes change pretty quickly. The Jets thing is really interesting. I don't think enough people have talked about the fact that this is a situation in which the analytics community was about a month ahead of everybody else. They've been saying for a while that this team was an elite defensive offensive team in front of Connor Hellebuck, like limiting chances, rush chances, expected goals against. Like the Jets have been playing extremely well for most of this season. And again, it was sort of the analytics community that was saying, watch the Jets. And then, they go to the top of the league and everybody's like, where did the Jets come from? And so the data was always there that they had this in them. And it's really impressive to watch. The only thing I'm really interested in with them is the deadline. Like Cheveldayoff has shown a propensity for making a big move at the deadline if he thinks he's got a good hand to play. And this is a team that really, really needs, in my opinion, much like the Avalanche, a someone to play behind their top center. And those are few and far between on the open market right now. Lindholm's head and shoulders above everybody else. But it's going to be fantastic to see what the Jets end up doing, because I think that's the major piece right now missing for them on what's a really good team.
What do you got coming up at ESPN this week?
Bold predictions tomorrow, and then our podcast to drop tomorrow. We talked to Isaac Howard, who was on that Team USA junior team that won gold. We talked to him about Cutter Gauthier, and more importantly, we talked to him about winning a year's worth of free Chipotle for having won gold, which is honestly the most fascinating thing in hockey for me right now.
I've a confession here. I've never had Chipotle.
You guys have it in Canada, though, right?
No, we don't.
No, not. Well,
out east, not out west. We don't have it in Western Canada.
What are we missing?
I do love Chipotle sauce, though, in general. Next
time you guys are out, I mean, have it, because it's honestly like become a part of hockey culture, at least in the U.S., where these guys carb load on rice and beans and chicken and stuff, and it's again, like Howard tells us this in the interview on the podcast tomorrow, but like, they were super excited that they won gold, and then they heard they got free Chipotle for a year, and the bus exploded. Like it was like New Year's Eve on that bus after they found out they got a year's worth of free Chipotle.
All right, buddy. We'll catch up next week, man. Great chat.
Anytime, thanks.
There you go. That is Greg Wyshynski, brought to you by Metal Supermarkets, your convenience stores for... so good. 2 locations, West End, South Side, metalsupermarkets.com.
No vegetables in that recipe. That's got to intrigue you. I mean,
26 locations in Ontario, 13 in BC, 1 in Calgary.
There's one in Calgary.
There's one in Calgary. I think it's supposed to be coming to Edmonton.
Do they deliver?
I would assume it eventually
I think
comes in.
there's I saw something about permits or something that might be coming or something.
This,
but yeah.
You know what this sounds like? This sounds like Badass Jack's. Remember that place?
Yeah, there's
I don't know
still
if it's
one
still, it was.
on the west side here by.
Is there still one down there?
By the licensing place? Yeah, Stony Plain.
No.
Yeah.
That's still there.
Oh yeah.
I thought I drove by the other day. Did it move?
Not to my knowledge. I drove past it.
It
every morning.
used to be like right on the corner across from Earl's.
Yeah.
That's still there.
Oh yeah.
I used to like to go in there and I'd get meat and rice and corn niblets.
Oh, the corn niblets.
And that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And then the teriyaki sauce. It was pretty good. They had one out in Spruce Grove for a while too, I think.
Still shows up on Google.
Does it?
It's open, yeah.
Okay. Badass Jack's. That's what. Anyway, that's when he described
That's what you're
Chipotle. The first thing I thought of was Badass Jack's.
Get a Chipotle in the stay and play that comes in from Red. Add that to the hotel motel brewery park.
Travis says Dusty might be too picky of an eater to enjoy Chipotle. Yeah, but can't you pick your own stuff to
Well,
go
it
on
sounded-
it?
yeah,
It sounded
rice,
like you can pick
beans,
your own
whatever.
stuff.
Yeah, maybe
I don't want
beans.
beans.
Yeah.
I don't
Rice
want-
and meat. There you go.
I don't want beans on there. Spency 5 cents. He says Badass Jack's was okay.
A lot of number 2 jokes.
Yeah, I like.
flying in as well.
I thought it was gone. I thought it was gone.
No.
Well, that's interesting. That's a big twist.
Maybe pull an audible for the station meeting today. Hey?
Oh no, we're having Popeyes
I
today. We're definitely having Popeyes
the
today.
cups
Well,
and
the new cups are out. Right, we have our meeting today. It's going to be a long one too. We got lots to go over. So yeah, we're getting Popeyes for the crew, and yeah, the new Popeyes cups are available. Zach Hyman available now. So swing by Popeyes, get that Oilers meal, and pick up your collector's cup. Collect all 4 of them. And this, I mean, what size is this? Does this say on it? That's got to be a liter, eh?
Maybe at the bottom.
Liter cola. Yeah.
That's a liter of cola. I don't know. I'll have to text Furby. But it's feeling like a liter. It's
Usually
feeling-
an industry standard,
It's feeling
that's
like a
what-
liter.
yeah,
to me.
yeah, that's
That's
what you
feeling
want.
like a liter right there. That's real nice. So we'll be getting into that. Yeah, my buddy Tanel says Calgary has a Chipotle now. Wow. 2024, eh? Wow. This is crazy. Somebody got to get on Jimmy John's. Right, we can bring Chipotle to Canada, but we can't bring Jimmy John's to
Is it
Canada.
the Earl of Sandwich too? Isn't that your?
Maddie, remember when we went to Philadelphia?
You ate that all the time.
I did.
The Earl.
I think I had
Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's. I think
We
I
have
had Jimmy
Earl of
John's.
Sandwich here.
We have an Earl of Sandwich
We have 2 of them,
downtown.
yeah. 2 of them, yeah.
There's one downtown.
And South.
Is there one on the south side?
South Commons.
Earl of Sandwiches. We used to hit Vegas all the time with Earl of
was the one,
Sandwich.
yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
It's just gone to Vancouver or something. We've had it for a while.
Anytime I go to the States, I'm crushing Jimmy John. That's just how it works.
Are they in Canada at all?
No.
I'm just trying to look.
Look it up. I don't think they're in Canada anywhere.
Nope.
No, that's one of my dreams, is to become like a franchisee guy and just own 6 Jimmy Johns.
So this is just adding more to the place in Beaumont.
Yeah.
And
You
Mr.
got
Mike's
like a
and
food
Jimmy
court.
John's.
Yeah, I mean that's the lobby is a food court of all your.
Jimmy John's is so good. Like somebody's got to push Subway. It's just that simple.
Well,
Quiznos
always
had
there.
their number. Quiznos has fallen off. There'll be a documentary about Quiznos one day because Quiznos like came in, toasted sub, boom, 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 and the Subway was like, "We're toasting our subs too," and Quiznos was like, "Dum dum dum dum," and I still love Quiznos. I love that chicken carbonara.
Mr.
that they got
Subs,
at
baby.
Quiznos.
Oh, that
Mr.
Mr.
Subs,
Subs.
like
It's a Canadian thing, and it's
I love Mr. Sub, but
He'll never be bigger,
yeah, that's the thing.
but it's great.
Respect for Louis as well, please.
Somebody got to go at Subway. And I love Subway. My kids love Subway. They go at Subway all the time. We go to a food court. Elizabeth's like, I want Subway. I'm like, why do you want Subway at the food court? There's so many options. We get Subway all the time. But I feel like somebody's got to take a legit run at them somehow. I don't know. And Jimmy John's would be my vote. I think I had it every single day we were in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Every single day.
Mm-hmm.
It's just delicious.
I don't think I had it all.
You must have had it once.
I
I had it
did.
like 4 times.
You went. I don't think I went.
I just went to Jimmy John's by myself.
I think so.
Sounds like something I
Because it was
would do.
across the street from the hotel.
It was right there.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I like to book my American hotels within the proximity of a good
Very
Jimmy
strategic,
John's.
yeah.
Yeah. Plus, they deliver on bike. It's hilarious.
Do they?
Yeah. Yeah. You're in a bigger city. It's on bike. These Jimmy John's guys are just flying all over the place.
So that's not happening in Edmonton. Today you ordered Jimmy John's, you know, like
Jimmy John's and bike. Where are you getting it to? St. Albert. Damn it. That's a long bike ride for somebody. All right, let's get into the wrap for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours, Get it done with Bruce and his team at William Huff. They've been doing it since 1972. WilliamHuff.com. And honestly, I mean, if you got your office, like, I like my place, but I think it could be a little bit better. Do one of your walls. Just put a big picture of yourself up. It doesn't matter.
No, get the forest.
Yeah, that'd be
the
cool.
depth piece.
I wonder if Bruce and his team at William Huff can do the like a wall where you have to stare at it for a long time to see something.
Oh, one of those 3D
like
arts.
those 3D books.
Couple
you
steps
have
back.
To change it, and then you finally get your eyes set, and it's Mike Vernon getting burnt.
Maybe one of the rooms at the new hotel motel.
Yeah, that'd be pretty. The 3D room.
The William Huff room.
Yeah. They should have that at West Edmonton Mall at the Fantasyland Hotel. William Huff theme room with just 3D pictures on the wall, but the full wall. That'd be kind of neat. All right, what'd you learn on the show today?
Well, we learned we're taking the Monday off after the big game.
That's not locked in yet. That's not locked in yet.
We're not taking it off.
I'm going full off.
We're not going to be completely
like
off.
The Americans do.
I think there is a room for discussion.
There's a wiggle room. There's a meet in the middle.
It's not. We're not starting at 6 a.m. that day potentially.
I like us hanging out and talking about the game a little later, right? That works. And we could fill. We could do the trivia. We could do all that.
I don't know. I mean, we. Here's what's going to happen.
We want to be trendsetters.
No, but we're going to do that. And then it's not going to be like a messy night. I'm going to be in bed by 11. I'm going to be like, I want to get up and talk about the game at 6.
What do you mean it's not going to be messy?
But now you can have it be a messy night.
Yeah.
Like
the AFC NFC Championships.
I'm a father. I'm 42.
Book a hotel out there.
Yeah.
Century.
We'll get a
so you're
room.
not even going
I'm
home.
mature now.
You go from the hotel
We'll split a room.
to here.
We'll all race in the morning.
And for those people that come here, like that join us, they could get a little sloppy because they know that they're not. They don't have to be up at 6 a.m.
Sloppy day.
I mean, valid point. These are
what
all
do the
things
Oilers
that
have?
we can discuss. These are all things.
Where are the Oilers? So when's Super Bowl? What day is that?
11th.
It's the 11th? Okay. So the Oilers play on the 10th. So it's a Saturday. So you're not really recapping that game.
No, you're not.
And they don't play till the 13th.
When's
so
that?
the Tuesday.
What's the
That's the Tuesday.
Enough time to talk about the
it's
big
not
game.
even- It's not even an Oilers game day.
It's not even an Oilers game day.
Jeez Louise.
It's a big game.
Well,
we're trying
I
to
think
reinvent this like
I think
media.
I think we need a subcommittee.
What do you mean a subcommittee?
You know, like we're gonna have a meeting with 6 people today.
We are the subcommittee. There's three of
but
us.
We take like, yeah, okay,
There's 6 of us. We're 3.
Leave it to the
This is the subcommittee.
Technically, this would
He
be
gets to the,
subcommittee. That's something to think. Is Tommy in today?
Supposed to be.
It's 8:56.
Yeah, I know.
That's right on time.
Let's see if Tommy's
It is cold out.
Oh, look at this. Look at HR Daddy. He goes, you just do it solo, but you work. Everybody else gets the day off. My dad says, I have to come in.
I like that. I'm good with that.
Yeah, if you want to do this, I mean, by all
That's
means.
what- that's why we have-
As a leader, I might bite that bullet.
That's why we have the practicum kid. Practicum comes in.
Yeah.
And then
just
me,
me and
you, and Tommy come in, and we'll do the hangout
And
with
we'll have a
Trev
good time?
at 9 o'clock.
We'll have-
And we'll do
we'll
it for
enjoy
2
ourselves
hours.
at the big game.
Get a nice sleep. We'll have a few extra. We'll do a couple shots.
Sure.
But I
They don't have to.
But I want to be on that hangout too. I don't know. Let's see how it plays out. Before we get to text of the day, let's get to
Troy's offering you lodging.
I could always stay at Troy's.
Yeah.
house.
So it's all written in the stars here, man.
Let's get to your sound of the day. We go back to the Toronto Raptors head coach, just incensed after the Lakers had 23 free throws and the Raptors had 2 in the fourth quarter last night.
Fourth quarter, what could you?
Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Doug. That's outrageous. What happened tonight? This is completely BS. This is shame. Shame for the referees, shame for the league to allow this. 23 free throws for them, and we get 2 free throws in the fourth quarter. Like how to play the game. I understand respect for all stars and all of that, but we have star players on our team as well. How's possible is Scotty Barnes, who is all-star caliber player in this league, he goes every single time to the rim with force and trying to get to the rim without flopping and not trying to get foul calls. He gets 2 free throws for the whole game. How's that possible? How are you going to explain that to me? They had to win tonight? If that's the case, just let us know so we don't show up for the game. Just give them a win. But that was not fair tonight. And this is not happening first time for us. Scotty Barnes is going to be all-star. He's going to be the face of this league. And what's happening over here during whole season, I've been holding it back. It's a complete crap.
Do you feel like you're getting any explanations at all? That offensive foul, did you see, like, get any explanation?
No, there is no explanation. They just come up there, they review and they see what they want to see. They don't want to hear us what we got to say. They don't want to hear the players. They don't just want to protect us. Over the game, they got 36 free throws, 23 free throws in the fourth quarter. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? How are we supposed to play?
Oh, baby. What do you think? What's the over-under on this fine? Is that $100,000? Is he getting hit with $100,000 fine? Because there's like 3 or 4 things he could be fined.
But as we talked, he discussed the legitimacy of, like, you know, you want them to, like.
Oh, yeah, he's in trouble.
That's the danger zone.
I mean, he already went at the officials, but then he went at the league for being like, you
everybody
want them to
swears
win.
these days. No, that's old hat. But
anyway, Darko, a legend. We added 2 of these clips straight into the vault. We'll have these forever now.
It's a complete crap.
That's a good one.
This is completely BS. This is shame.
We got 2 of them.
And the thank you, Doug, for when Doug McClain joins the other day.
This is HR Daddy listening to our Super Bowl day off talk.
This is completely BS. This is shame.
This is completely BS. This is shame. All right, let's get to your text of the day today. Let's go with this one. The real Slim Davy. When I get 10 minutes uninterrupted in the bathroom.
It's a complete crap.
Real Slim Davy winning the text of the day. That is a gift certificate to A&W. A&W, of course, giving us the goods. It's a spicy dill burger.
Slathered.
And now available as the Buddy Burger. Starting at just $3.99. 3 grass-fed beef burgers, topped with pickles, onion slice, real cheddar sauce. Slathered in creamy, spicy dill pickle sauce. Available for a limited time only at A&W. We also learned today that we had some audio issues to start the show.
Oh, boy, was that fun.
That was...
You'll want to listen back to that one.
Maddie shows up for one day with one arm. And this happens. YouTube Trev's got 2 arms, and he doesn't make any mistakes.
That's all on you. I'm putting that all on you. I'll look at it later.
All right, the Hangout is coming up. Make sure autoplay is on. And stick around. It's going to be a great conversation over on the Hangout today. I'll be back with the Lock Shop with Huss. Late night, you know what we're probably going to do? Dive into some of these NFL futures heading into the playoffs. We'll definitely do that today. Late night in the NHL, but we'll break that down. The Lock Shop has become like this D-Gen hub where the nasty chat is just sports bettors putting together parlays that Cool Bet's throwing up. It's amazing. So if you want to have a lot, and look, we talk a lot about betting, but we spend more of the time breaking down the games and talking about the stories in sports. So Lock Shop today at 11, Oil Stream, myself and Tommy at noon today as well. But the Hangout is coming up next for Mr. Lean and Lieutenant Eric. I am Dustin Nielsen. Have a great day. Take it easy. Tell your friends about EST.